Alright, so we should be live again right about now. I got an A from Ken right as we stopped streaming, so hopefully that was a convenient redundancy. Are we audible now?
Oh, hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, we get the audio.
Yay,
Yeah,
audio!
perfect. So just to finish my story, so then the socket went right into my flesh, and I went, ow, and I dropped the cable, but there's like 30 other cables attached to it, so now the weight of all 30 cables is hanging off of this tiny little metal thing jabbed into my skin, and I went... And then Bianca, the lady that works next to me, went, "You sound like a puppy!" And, yeah, that was fun.
Like a puppy.
Like a puppy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Like
Yeah,
a
you remember that
puppy
thing in
with
middle
steel
school?
embedded in it?
Yeah. Yeah, you know that thing in middle school when you'd walk up behind somebody and jab a cable header into their skin to see what noises they make during sex? It was like that, and I guess I sound like a puppy.
Well, there is a pigeonhole for that. Anyways, let's get out of this mire and into some tabletop.
And into let's get out of the header of weird tangents and into the juicy flesh of tabletop.
So,
Yes.
I'm just gonna say juicy flesh one more time to make Ray uncomfortable.
Okay.
Alright, so
Don't like it.
we're doing a bit of a session 0. We're getting ready for the upcoming campaign. We discussed this a while ago, and long enough ago that it's reasonable to forget, which is good because the audience doesn't know at all.
I don't know at all.
I also don't know, so...
Well, we are in the city of Pine Watch and area. So,
And friends, yeah.
big old trees, cities built into the top of the trees. You guys are going to be working for... Well, you're going to be part of a bigger association. Technically, you're independent contractors, but you work for a company. You guys are going to have your own monster hunting wagon. I have expanded wagon rules and an expanded budget for you. You are going to share a garage in Pine Watch with a couple of other teams, and there's like a home dispatch that's going to send you off. And you are a monster squad.
Yeah.
The way it goes is this. Adventurers will go out and do whatever thing, you know. Oh, there's something in my basement, jab jab. But, like, sometimes a group of, like, 5 miscellaneous people go down and go, okay, this is a bit too complicated, and it's not really fixable. So you guys are there for a variety of things. Big monsters, infestations, inspections. But the big thing is, once you guys are hired by these people, they are going to be able to expand their services, which is why they really want you there. Because if more people can be on dispatch and they have more people with disparate skills, then things are going to be good. The company is Allied Independent, founded by adventurers from aforetime. Nothing from anything I've run previously. I'm actually making up new NPCs instead of being a hack. So, what do you guys want to know? Because I have a lot of information, and because you guys have all played this game at least once before recently, I figure we can go a little bit more elaborate with character creation and talk about things like, you know, your apartments or that sort of thing.
Like an apartment.
Apartment?
Man.
Oh my god.
In this housing market?
Yeah,
I know, right?
What are we?
It's a fantasy game.
Wealthy?
Yeah.
So,
Are we
yeah.
fabulously rich?
I can
Did you
live out
guys-
my apartment living dreams
Yeah,
in
did you-
D&D because it's not going to happen in real life.
Did you
Ever.
guys know that the cost of a house in Canada has gone up 20% in the last year?
My
Fine.
parents bought this house for $350,000. A house that's a little bit smaller down the street just sold for $1.2 million.
Yeah.
So that's horrifying.
It's nonsense.
So I hope you never hope to ever own a house.
See,
Yeah, well,
I call my apartment a half bow because by layout, it's literally like half of the apartment from inside. Like, I get the one slanted wall, but then
yeah.
that's it.
Can't have the other one.
Yeah.
That's
No.
extra.
Even a second slanted wall is living a bit above your means.
I would like to hear about the size of our apartments, though. Do we all live in one apartment? Do we each have our own apartment?
Well, we gotta figure that out because I don't know who you are and I don't know what you do.
I don't know who I am either, so...
Okay, so I have a thought. I do have a thought.
Okay.
So that would
What's her
maybe
name?
help people... Ooh, not that fleshed out of a thought, I guess.
Okay.
So I'm thinking Volpe.
Well, pay.
Little fox dude.
Little fox dude, and I was thinking like medic, like medic style fixing people, because like I'm really enjoying the magical resistance of, you know, being a Volpe. But I also really like this sensory sensitivity, which I think some people would take as a drawback because that's what it says in the rule book. But I'm really not. I'm not gonna phrase it like that.
Prompt.
It's a role play prompt, and I'm gonna use it to listen to heartbeats. So, medical things.
Okay.
Boom.
Solid.
Because then the other people in the party can be tall and buff and protect my fragile body. You know, just really leave it up to everyone else.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember a little Fisher Price franchise with the name of Rescue Heroes?
Yes.
They had big feet.
They have big feet, so that's kind of the vibe that I want to go for.
You're gonna have big feet?
Well, the feet not so much. More so just the big fireman with a big helmet.
So you're gonna be a Chad? You're gonna be a Chad?
No, because I've been thinking a lot about the Rescue Heroes, and there's a couple of defining things about them. The feet that we've already mentioned.
Yes.
They're very strong. That's number one.
The feet are very strong, yes.
The
feet are very strong.
But number two is they all have gadgets.
Yeah.
They all have wild and wacky and fun gadgets.
Yeah.
That's like a huge part of them, and I think that would be fun to be a sort of Batman-esque figure who's always like, listen, I know that we have to get to this other building, and that's why I built a grappling hook backpack. Here we go, fun times with grappling hook backpack.
Like a go-go gadget, sort of.
It's sort of like a go-go gadget.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm hearing correctly, with my ears,
Yeah.
Chelsea's got to be like a buff lad.
Maybe.
So, I had zero thought coming into this.
Yeah.
Love it. Great place to start.
Head empty, great place.
Head empty, you know, but my body is ready, you know?
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
Here for it. I'm here for it.
So my kind of plan was to hear what you guys had in mind.
Yeah.
And then build a character based off of that. So, Gabe, you're gonna have big, heavy, big-footed rescue hero.
That's kind of my thought, yeah.
I should say, Ken is giving us a warning, a dire warning about rescue hero life. He did have one that was a deep-sea diver who drowned in the bath because the rescue hero wasn't supposed to go in the water. So,
Yeah.
hazards of exploration.
My dad did that to my scuba diver rescue hero, and I told him no, he's not supposed to go in the water, and he went tee he go backward into splash, and I went oh no, and then he squeaked. He had a little thing that he pushed, and his feet go squeak, and it's like they kick, and then from then on it did a little squeak 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 squeak.
Funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So are you gonna be a big buff lad?
Like probably. I like the rescue heroes feel like a very well-rounded, like I mean, no, they're physical. They're jacked, like they're fucking jacked. But like in terms of their skills, they're quite versatile. Like most firefighters can't fly an airplane, for example.
Yeah.
But they can swing an axe real good.
They can swing an axe real good, but Billy Blaze is the leader of the rescue heroes. He does know how to fly a plane.
Okay, let's see. So
Actually,
you're gonna go probably into physical craft, aren't you?
that's kind of what I was thinking. I was planning to go like a very wide spread and also get some like first aid in there. But if Ray's gonna cover that, then that really does leave me like, yeah.
You could do like a mental science.
Yeah, like I'm feeling like a mental, physical sort of thing.
Yeah.
Thinking aloud of like possible things that we'll have to worry about is like keeping charge of the books.
Yeah.
Well, why don't I introduce you to the rest of Allied Independent?
Yes. What are our NPCs?
Yes.
So first off, big ass garage. So if that's where your eyes would be driven, there's a bunch of vehicles in there. There are, not including you, technically 4 teams, but one of them's like the garage team. So like they deal with the books, you know. They provide accounting services and all that stuff. A big part of why you're part of Allied Independent is like, basically you agree to let them like give you contracts and take like a fee, so and then in turn like you get insurance, you get coverage, you get all of your like legal documentation taken care of,
Dental benefits.
yeah, exactly. It's I mean, it is worker owned. So there's 4 people who work there. They are the Allied Independents. There's Uncle Larry, the owner. He's a people guy. You got Mumblin' Jim, who's the janitor. He's kind of a fixer type. He can put things back together, clean up messes. But in like a buildings and weird problems way. There is Wanda the Wise, who's the secretary and bookkeeper, and Carter Cartwright, the mechanic and fleet manager. He fixes specifically the wagons, and also some other stuff. In addition to that, you have the Firehouse 4, the Rogue Rangers, and the Cleansing Light, each with their own, you know, individual people, but they kind of have different wheelhouses they take care of. Firehouse 4 usually tries to stay in dispatch so they can do emergency response. The Rogue Rangers are almost always out in the field because they're going to municipalities and dealing with wilderness stuff. And the Cleansing Light are kind of in between. They deal with, like, catastrophe repair and rehabilitation. So, like, they've got, like, a wizard, they've got an inspector and an investigator, and they've just straight up got, like, a contractor that fixes things up kind of thing. In terms of vehicles already in the fleet, I can give you an elaborate description if you want ideas. Otherwise, I can throw things back to you and come back to this later. But,
I have a question.
yeah.
Are there any NPCs that are directly on our team? Like, we have, like, a team. Is it just
nope.
the 3 of us?
It's just the 3 of you.
Okay. So do we often go out with other teams? Or is it often just the 3 of us?
Very, very big depends on that one. Sometimes alone,
Okay.
sometimes in teams.
Okay.
So in the fleet, there's the old girl, which is basically there for, like, historical value. Tiny one-horse wagon with, like, a searchlight and a little, like, a hose pump. Pretty basic kind of thing. It has a ladder attached to it. There's the Hail Mary that's almost always parked there, and it's a 8-horse wagon. It's got a bunch of different segmented parts that come off. It's got multiple, like, fluid tanks for different emergencies, a mounted cannon on the front. It's got a little, like, in the back, it's got almost like a trailer section with pop-outs, so you have, like, a mobile stopping point, and it basically takes the entire, like, Allied Independent team to work this thing. In turn, each of the crews have one. So the Firehouse 4 have the firefighter. It's built with, like, you know, a ladder and all the various search and rescue things, big equipment lockers, side rails that you can grab onto. There's the Wilderness Explorer, which is for the Rogue Rangers. That one is far more basic. It's like a trailer and then, like, just like a flatbed in the back if they need to carry anything. They usually park it and then leave and use it as kind of like a home base. Last but not least, the cleanup crew is actually a reasonably small, low wagon. They don't need a lot of equipment. They have their individual crew lockers. They have a ladder if they need it. They have all their tools, and they just kind of go and consult, stay in an inn if they need to. Which brings it back to you.
Okay.
Do you guys want to keep going through character creation specifically for your sheet, or do you want to talk about, like, broader character stuff?
I can't start my sheet until I have a broader character idea. So Gabe, you're gonna go physical mental.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm reading off on Billy Blazes here, and man, his story is wild. Did you know that he's just, like, straight up from Quebec? And his dad is mad at him because his dad wanted him to become a construction worker, but instead he became a firefighter, which feels like, I don't know, two jobs that, like, wouldn't conflict all that much.
Yeah, I feel like there would be a lot of conversation, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only do I put up the buildings, I tear them down when they're on fire.
Yeah, his dad. That's it, right? Because he goes into the burning building with the axe, and he hacks down the door, and his dad, like, it took me 3 hours to hang that door.
Yeah.
You know?
And his dad's like standing outside, like
shaking his head. You didn't put it back, did you?
I'm sure it could have handled a fire just fine if you didn't fiddle with it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. And then if the entire house burned down because Billiam Blaze didn't do anything, his dad was like, man, you really dropped the ball on this one, son.
How dare you?
I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed. I'm just lightly singed.
Yeah.
Okay. Ray, you're gonna go probably mental. What's your second skill?
This is sort of what I'm stuck on. I'm almost thinking like, I don't know, because is there going to be issues with my benefit being magical resistance, me being magical? Because like if I have magical resistance, I think, you know, kind of flavor style, it would make sense that I am magically resistant because I can't deal with magic. Like it does not cooperate with my body, so I don't think it'll be magic. Physical, yeah, I doubt it. So I almost think social, because I guess with doctors and stuff, people would come into the emergency room and be like, man, I accidentally fell on this bottle.
Yeah.
Or I took a random substance, don't ask any further questions. And the doctor would have to like figure out how that happened, you know? So I think
yeah.
I think social.
Tangent. I have a friend who told me one time that they went into the forest and just started eating mushrooms.
Ooh.
And then got really sick and went to the doctor. And the doctor's like, what the hell did you do? What's wrong with you?
How old were they?
Like 20, mid-20s.
Yeah, they were either 6 or 22.
Yeah. Anyway.
There's so many cartoons about this.
Yeah.
How they eat the wrong one and it goes bad and they go bleh.
Yeah.
I feel like Jude from, remember 16, that show where all the teenagers hung out in the mall?
Yeah.
I feel like Jude is like perfectly that. Like he would just wander into the forest and be like, look at those mushrooms. I'm gonna put them all in my mouth and see what happens.
And then have to go to the hospital.
And then die.
Yeah.
You know, I think I may have watched every single episode of that show and remembered almost none of it because it was just the only thing on TV, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. Hey, okay is also what the guy that wrote this article on the Rescue Hero Rocky Canyon replies to every single comment, and it's cracking me up. This guy says, this random, probably he's 7, and he goes, yes, and now it is time to sing the Rescue Heroes theme song. And then he puts the full lyric to the Rescue Hero theme song there. And then the guy that wrote this article just replied, yes, with a period at the end. This guy says, Rocky lives in Oklahoma. And he says, yes. This guy says, I watched Rescue Heroes when I was 6, 7, and 8, and Rocky was my favorite. And he says, okay. Like, he's
taciturn, you know?
Yeah.
That's like
he's
how
not
my
doing a great
dad
job interacting with his fans.
texts. Like, you could send my father like a 7-page, you know, I'm dying.
Yeah.
Like, this is my last goodbye, and he'd be like, okay, period.
Yeah.
Correct.
And it wouldn't even be like OKAY, it'd just be okay. Period.
All in caps because he has one of those like phones that doesn't have a keyboard. It's just like one of those flip phones, so all of them are
Still
in caps.
using T9 or whatever it was. A, B, C.
So I'm gonna either go super heavy into physical or super heavy into magic.
Why not both be a battle mage?
Yeah.
I could be a battle mage.
You can just be the one that hurts things.
Because, like, Gabe and I can cover the rest. Like, we can go hard into, like, you know, mental social and just cover you, you know?
Yeah.
And Chelsea's the muscle.
And I'll be the muscle.
You can bring to the stream what you brought to the stream to begin with. Head empty, body ready. Like, I think that's perfect.
Head empty, body ready is my character description.
It is worth saying.
That's perfect.
perfectly makes sense to have someone who's the best and specialized at killing, but given your job, all of you will probably want to have at least some killing.
Yeah.
And, like,
Oh, yeah.
genuinely, having a primary medic and having other people have doctor, probably going to be useful. Like,
Yes.
you might be in different parts of a room assisting each other with multiple injured people, you know?
Yeah, like if Ray gets struck to the face and is
Yeah.
down, and it's like, well, darn, there goes our medic.
So,
Oh!
Bad news.
so I thought my abilities, I'll base them on what the rescue hero's abilities are listed on the wiki. Every single rescue hero has the same 3 skills listed as their abilities. Number 1, firefighter. Number 2,
Knew it.
lead team leader. And number
Oh, so they
3,
just copy-pasted the first one and never changed it.
and
Is
number
it
3,
swimming?
jet pilot. Those are the 3 things you need to be able to do to be a rescue hero.
Oh my god, didn't they have, like, a thing that was like a jet and it landed and it detached into, like, a boat that in turn detached into little ski things and you could, like, it had a cargo bay and a vehicle. Like, it was literally just, like, someone at Fisher-Price was like,
Yeah.
why can't we have a car that's a plane, that's a truck, that's a boat, that's a jet ski, you know?
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We're
Why not?
Fisher-Price.
You explained
We're
to
God.
me-
Yes.
Yeah.
Christ, forgot. Yeah.
Okay, so Ray and Gabe, you guys are both gonna take Doctor.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank you.
going to. I don't know if I want to put like any dots into mental or social. You know,
I don't think you should. Like, I
I-
think it would be a waste.
I think I should just be a big beefy lad. I'm almost thinking I should go into like planar demonic magic. You know,
Okay.
Oh.
I should just be scary.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Yo, okay, so I was thinking my character is gonna wear like a little plague doctor mask, but
Yeah.
instead of it being a plague doctor mask, literally someone else's skeleton.
Well, that's
As a
that's
little
scary.
helmet.
A human skeleton.
I don't
Well, I
think
don't- I
they'd
haven't
let you
just-
do that.
I haven't decided on the skull yet. Like, I'm still kind of figuring that out. But it's gonna have horns and it's gonna be horrifying. So I feel like we could be like
Be
a
vibe.
team of like really scary lads and have it just like go into the party,
Yeah,
intimidation high, see what happens from there.
that could be a vibe. You know, our vibe is what the hell is that?
Yes. Yes. And I feel like that sort of vibe would also go really well with like we all have single names.
Yeah,
Like just a single one. Like
Yeah.
no last names, nothing. Just
Yeah.
like
name Lunk.
yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Skills, lunk.
I
It's
feel
like the
that would be
JoJo
amazing.
thing, but it's all lunk. Still not balanced. It's like hard one, kind of another, 0 on 3, all lunk though.
Yeah,
And I
Those
feel
JoJo
like
things are so funny.
what's your name? Doctor. Or like, oh, what's your name? Medical.
Medical.
Okay.
Ooh, sawbones.
Sawbones.
Yes. I feel like I'm kind of getting like, I'd have to look a little rabid.
Just a little bit.
Just a little rabid. Have like
Yeah.
at least a couple of like maybe bald spots on my skin, like on my fur where you can see like really aggressive scars. Just look a little mangy at all times.
Huh.
Skill, lunk, jet pilot. Oh, I'm glad you're
Every
here,
single
Ken.
one is a jet pilot. It's so funny.
Okay. So I think I'm going to main physical, secondary magical.
I just realized something. That's just you guys. It's just skill, blank, wagon driver.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I could do battle mage.
Because I think it makes more sense for you to do battle mage and have no social or excuse me, or mental. Because like the situations where we need social or mental, we're gonna be together. And like if you are in a situation where you need social or mental, and you're by yourself, you could just kill someone. Like,
I'll just kill them.
what are they gonna do? Not die? Good luck, I guess, you know? Better luck next time.
Look, if you try to talk to me outside of my group, I will kill you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We could just put a little sign on your, like, overalls or something that says, like, don't make direct eye contact if alone.
Yeah.
Caution, live gremlin.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey.
Okay. This is good. I have the rules open. I always forget what the beginning this is.
Well, you got your 4 skills with a +1, +2, +3, and +4 wherever you want to put them. So that's your physical,
Yeah.
your mental, your social, and your magical.
You know, I should probably not have gotten a pen for my first draft.
Got a pencil.
Oh, and we spoke before. You like got this printed at Staples, didn't you?
No, I got ink.
Oh, okay.
So I could always reprint it. It's not a big deal. Ink
Okay.
is very expensive. What is up with that?
Gas might
Like,
have
it's
taken
really
it.
cool because,
That's
like,
not
the
overtaken.
black cartridge is the one that always goes out the fastest, even
Mhm.
though all the other 3 cartridges are just one mega cartridge,
Yeah.
but you still run out of black first every time.
Yeah. You gotta print in composite black, which always looks wrong.
Yeah. You just shift it to like a shade of navy blue.
Yeah. So we got those for the abilities. Your skills, you got 8 points to a lot. Everything starts with 1 for free for 1d6. You're untrained. Then you can go novice, trained, expert. 8 points.
Okay. Yeah. 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 points to spend to a maximum of 4. Okay, so there isn't like a thing that you have to
No.
not do.
Yeah, just like
I should maybe
fill boxes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know I'm gonna go. So I know physical is gonna be 4.
Yeah.
I know magical is gonna be 3. I know mental is 2, and then social is 1. And then I'll move those around later
Mm.
as we level up.
3, 2, 1. So Ray, you're going mental.
Yeah, so I did mental 4, social 3, physical 2, and then magical 1. Because I feel like Will's very right. We're all gonna have to have at least a little bit of physical.
Yeah.
But I have a weakness to magic anyways. Or, like,
Yeah.
my body doesn't want the magic, so I might as well just leave it as garbage.
Yeah.
And you can always move that 1 point away when we level up, right? So.
Exactly. And I plan on it.
Okay, so
And I automatically put 2 points in doctor.
Okay.
Like, straight off the bat.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go for 3 points in doctor. Like, for, like, to get the full 4.
Yeah.
Because, like, why not? You know? And then not do maybe any more mental stuff, because then, Gabe, like, you can probably cover a mental, possibly? What is your 4, 3, 2, 1?
So I'm doing 4 physical,
Uh-huh.
3 social, 2 mental, and 1 magical.
Okay.
I'm putting 2 dots into weapon, 2 dots into brawn. Strong, he fight.
Mhm.
I'm putting 1 dot into doctor, like 1 extra dot into doctor, right? And then 1 extra dot into convince, because I feel like convince is what you want when you're trying to calm somebody down.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you're convinces when it's like, I'm scared, I don't want to do the jump.
Yeah. And you're like,
Yeah,
you gotta
exactly.
do it.
And I feel like as like, you know, I don't want to throw myself into a role here, but as like the leader of the group, convince is an important one, you know.
You
I
are
don't
the
wanna-
rescue hero.
I am the
You're
rescue
the jet.
hero.
They're the jet.
I'm the
driver.
jet pilot. Yeah.
And
It's
you have a
me.
mustache.
Yeah.
Have
yeah,
we all
I will-
seen Billy Blaze's mustache?
Have we all seen Billy Blaze's mustache?
It's firm.
It's pretty good.
Is it like a nice brush? Does it have a twirl? Or is it just like
it's literally just a rectangle.
It's
like, and
it's
that's why I chose the word firm instead of like dense, because it is literally.
It's like one of those synthetic broom ends, like just.
Yeah. I bet you if you got up real close in like a high res, it would just be firm. Like you would push it and it would push back.
It's just a single polygon in real life.
Yeah, like I'm looking up his model in the movie, and they did my man dirty. His mustache is no longer a perfect, like perfect polygon. It comes down at the corners, which
it has a little curve to it, and that's not cool.
Will not stand for this.
No.
Mm-hmm. It's not professional.
No.
He's got the strong jaw as well, like just
the strongest jaw.
Also, characters.
Strong genes in that pool.
I know one of you is going to be a Volpe, but otherwise, what do you look like? Where are you from?
That's an excellent question.
Excellent question.
Let's see, which...
So you guys are in, like, a multi-regional area. You're near the Great Forest, you're near the swamps a little bit. You're also close to, like, the wild, kind of blasted highlands of Venkram. So those are the nearest places. You could be someone from any of those countries if you wanted to be like, oh yeah, I live around here. You could also just come from further. It's a big world, and you guys are trained professionals in a very specific industry in, like, a large city. So you could have come from away. You could have come from less away.
Well, no,
Come From Away, the very good the musical thing on the thing. Yeah. Watch it. It's good content.
It's about 9/11. I think.
It is.
I guess it is, isn't it?
I mean, it is strongly based on 9/11, but it's about Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about, like, these planes that were like, oh shit, what do you mean we can't go to New York? We're already in the air. Where do we go? What do you mean Nova Scotia?
Although Red Tort does also fit very well with Billy Blaze's.
Rescue hero.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, how cute would it be if we were all, like, a little bit, like, red or orange? Like,
yeah.
We'd be like the Red Squad, you know? Because Chelsea would obviously go for the Demon Touched, that one, the one.
I was thinking either Demon Touched or, like, Draconian.
In Draconian, you could pick a scale color.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, me as a fox, I'm a little bit red. I'm gonna, like, put my hand in front of my camera for a second so it focuses again, because it's very upset.
Oh, it's doing an Angie.
Yay, I fixed it.
There
I'm an engineer.
Nice.
Well, in that case, I was going to save this for the end, but I feel like we already have an answer. Allied Independent does, like, a color scheme thing. So, they already have a red, unfortunately. It's the Firehouse 4. They're firefighters.
No!
Can we be a burnt umber?
Well, that's the thing. They've got red. They've got gold for, like, the Allied Independents, the house team. And then green for the Rangers, and purple for the Cleansing Light. Orange?
Yeah, that's sort of my next
orange. We could be
possibility.
Black. We could be, like, okay, here, listen. Here's my thought. You know the firefighter outfit that you wear?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, traditionally it's, like, black and red.
Yeah.
I feel like when...
What firefighters have you
have a firefighter team that took red?
They usually have, like, high-vis, like, stuff onto it, and, like, some color coding and visible stuff, but most of, like, the underlying stuff, like, I know what you're talking about, but it's not like the historical stuff we would have seen in cartoons as kids. It's, like, the real life, like, if you see a firefighter today kind of thing. Or they have, like, the color scheme of my coat that you can see in the edge of frame.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that, like, burnt sienna tough shit.
they're like canvas. It looks
Yeah,
like they're
yeah,
wearing.
yeah.
It looks like they're wearing canvas with like high vis attached to it.
Yeah.
But I think black would also be another option because I know they have like dark foxes. Like they have these like cute like black and gray foxes that are quite beautiful.
You could also have a more like color schemey kind of thing. Be like a snowy fox for like a little bit of ash on the fire kind of thing.
Well, that's sort of what I'm vibing, like black undercoat with like gray tips. So then it's kind of like ashy, and then Chelsea could possibly do like what's the other one?
Yeah, Chelsea.
Other than
either draconian or demon touched, I think. But I'm kind of leaning draconian because they got like a cool battle mage benefit.
Because then you could just do like cool like silvery scales.
Mm-hmm. Cool,
and you could belch fire. Like that's spicy.
Yeah, and if I'm a battle mage, I could have like a thing and then like heat up the sword with my breath. Dab, you know? I think that would be a real cool thing that I do.
I think that would be really good for our enemies.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have an effect on stats. The species does. It gives you a benefit and a drawback and a couple for some of them. But the people doesn't have an effect on stats. It just has an effect on role play. Where are you guys from? Who raised you? What's your dominant cultural influence going into this game?
That is an excellent question.
I don't know very much about people.
I feel like I'm going towards maybe like a grove folk or potentially henge folk, maybe? Because then you're getting the sort of like...
You would have grown up with a lot of mages then. Would have grown up like in the henge with... It's not like an isolated place, it's just like a big part of the culture.
What would you say is the most aggressive peoples?
I don't know if it necessarily is like that per se. It depends on what sort of thing you want to bring in. Because you want to have like combat kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
So, to the north in Venkrum, there's a couple of different peoples in Venkrum, but they all kind of have a history of, venerating the martial arts, painting shields, and making fine axe heads and all that kind of stuff. Far to, like, kind of the southeast, near Monk's Keep in those mountains, the Cloud... the Cloud Kingdom people have, like, a long and storied tradition of elementalism and, like, martial arts, specifically, like... Not particularly, like, hand-to-hand stuff, but, a lot of, like... There's an issue in the real world where a lot of historical martial arts don't have documentation because they were just taught generation to generation, then forgotten when they became irrelevant. Places around there, like Monk's Keep, is where they have, like, the documentation and the forms and, like, the museums of historical weaponry and, like, where they do, like, the reconstruction teachings of how things used to be. It's a place where there's a deeply academic bent to the martial culture, but also, like, the magical part is more tied into spirituality.
Cloud Kingdom it is.
Okay.
I'm thinking maybe long haulers?
Okay. So, like, from a bit further north, up in the pine forests?
Because then I think I would blend in very well with, like, the snow. As sort of like a gray lad.
Yeah. Like, kind of like where the snow meets, like, hollows and dips in the forest. It's kind of just, like, partially terrain, partially snowdrift.
Yeah.
Okay. I still haven't decided exactly what skills I'm going to take.
Well,
But if
Gabe,
I'm
what are
going
you
battle
thinking about?
mage,
Like, I mean, I'm thinking I'm thinking Red Torg,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking just from the Freedlands. But I'm trying to decide exactly which nation.
Yeah, what would have led you to come here? Because it isn't necessarily a culture where it's like, you left the front, you're a traitor. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, you leaving the front is you taking advantage of everything your, like, predecessors fought for, and you joining the front is you joining the front, right? So,
Yeah,
leaving can very much be something where, like, even familially, you could have lived here for the past, like, couple of decades, and, like, your parents were like, no, we got out. Why would we go back? We're building a new life here.
yeah. No, I feel like I mean, honestly, it was probably like, okay, well, I can join in the front, and that's all well and good. Uh, yeah, he probably was. He was probably born a ways away from like, I'm looking here at the different ones because there's one. Let's see,
I feel like leg break sounds kind of
Leg
good
Break.
because then
Yeah.
you could do like scaling down buildings and stuff. Like that's like
Mhm.
you do like the ropey stuff so you can like climb really well. Many red, green, and patterned torgs live here.
I also want to throw out for Rafe, your character. Long haulers have a tradition of like painting their shields with elaborate designs, either to fit a shield wall or like as individual fighters. What does your shield look like? Is that something you do, or is that something you don't do?
I feel like I have a shield because it's expected of me to have a shield. Um, and so like because it's kind of ingrained in my culture that you have like a shield with kind of a symbol of like who you are, I would probably have a shield with a skull painted on it.
Alright.
Because then if I don't have my shield, because I don't really need it all the time.
Like just a little buckler, like a small round
Yeah.
shield that you could just throw on a
Yeah.
backpack.
Exactly. And if I
'Cause you
don't
aren't-
have my shield,
Because you're
my
not
helmet,
obligated, but it's an option.
I think I would do it. Like I feel like I'm the kind of person that would like follow the traditions because they are traditions and like
Mhm.
really not much more. But they're still traditions, you know? Like even though I don't really like put much stock in them, I think it still makes sense at being a tradition, you know?
Hmm.
Because then I could have my nice little skull helmet that if I'm not wearing my shield, it still like represents, me.
Mhm.
So this is a weird kind of question. How close to the Evernight is Celestia?
Celestia is very far from Evernight, but Evernight and Celestia have relations because, like, it used to be the island of Celestia was like Demonica and Tenebra, and then there was a big thing. Now there's Void Bay and Tenebra, and it's directly related to the people that used to be here, and the Celestials took over the entire island.
I have a thing brewing. Can you send me the map?
I think in the Bloodwine Discord, you should be able to get to it under maps and assets.
That would make sense. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And if anybody's on the Discord who happens to be on this channel and you want to see what's going on, just send me a quick message. I should be able to get you the permissions
Okay.
to see the stuff.
Huh.
So Evernight is the very top, like, if you see there's kind of like a high desert, it's that
Yeah.
area, the area on the close side of the mountains to it, and then like the bay all around.
Oh,
Or
I'm
not the
looking
bay,
at the
the water all
color.
around
I'm looking
it.
at the color-coded one.
Ah, yes.
The Freedlands are the ones over here in the sort of the brown.
Yeah,
Or the
they're...
Freedlands are the gray is the giant territory.
Yeah, gray is giant territory.
Brown, and then the Evernight is up in the purple.
Mhm.
And
Here,
then,
I'll switch
where's
over the map
Celestia?
screen so I can.
I am doing it again.
So I'm
This
going to
starts
take the
on a
red pin
tangent.
here. This spot here on the map of the world is. That's where Tenebra is.
Yeah.
No, that brought the whole thing with it. Let's stick it back where it was. Excellent. Then the yellow pin, we'll use that for the Freedlands, right around there.
Yep.
And what was the last place you were looking for, Celestia?
Cloud Kingdom.
Celestia.
I want to know where the
Celestia
Cloud Kingdom is.
Is in blue, right there.
Ah.
We use the green
Where
pin.
do I live?
Green pin is the Cloud Kingdom there. The star is where you are currently. And, fittingly, Skull Pin puts you just right there. Like, you're... If I take the same Skull Pin and put it onto the main map, like, you're around here, and then up a square, there's, actually, let me go to the map itself and just pick it up. If we go just up here, that's, like, the regional capital, Tall Trees.
Love
Nice.
it. I also put my lovely helmet, a lovely picture of my helmet. I feel like I could possibly... I like the shape of it, because I can either just, like, leave it on top of my head, or, like, bring it down a little bit and, like, stick my eyes, so it's like a war helmet. So it's just, like, it sort of looks like a goat skeleton, like,
And
maybe, like, one
it's
of, like,
almost like a mask tied to the top of the head. It's not like a full
Yeah.
protected helm.
Yeah. And then
Big
it
horn.
just kind of like, yeah, it just kind of like sits like a little hat, like
Yeah.
sort of here maybe, and then like
Okay.
has some horns that kind of come out. But then like if I like bring it down a little bit in front of my face, it could be like a face mask if I really so wished
Alright,
it,
that's doable.
I guess.
So,
But no protective, nothing like
no protective benefits.
no protection. It's purely for intimidation.
So here's my thought, right? Like I wanna come from the Freedlands. But reading through it, kind of what I was thinking wasn't gonna work exactly. But I think that I came from the Freedlands, and I was part of a group that tried to do like humanitarian rescue missions a little bit into Celestia. And because Torgs are not permitted to wear to go barefoot there, that's why he wears the big boots. That's kind of just been a part of his, uniform. His big protective boots.
It's like me,
Yeah.
the first time that I ever had steel toes, I was like, oh, nice. So they're like work boots. You can't hike with them. And people are like, no, you can hike with them. You can go to the... Like, so these are just... Like, there is just a boot that you can buy that's the best boot.
Yeah.
And it's big and heavy and goes clunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, actually, I'm going to brag about these. I got these really recently for, like, fieldwork stuff, but...
It's just the best boot.
Big clump.
Look at this rescue hero, son of a bitch. Look at that.
Damn.
It's waterproofed.
Damn, that kicks ass.
It's not leather, like it's almost like a Teflon-y thing, so it can't tear the way leather does. Composite sole, composite toe, and like barely wrenches. Barely.
Nice. Good solid boot.
Just a fucker of a boot.
Your ankles wouldn't even die if you like roll your
Yeah,
ankle.
I feel like
I have a blister on the side of my foot because I have support where I didn't before. Anyways, I'm gonna grab a beer real quick.
okay.
I don't know if you guys know this, but the magical schools and rituals, that would go under magical planar, right?
Possibly. Imagine
Well,
if-
you would know the answer to this.
Yeah, you would.
Magical schools and rituals. Planar demonic.
Mhm.
That would go under like magical planar skill, like the skill, right?
Yeah.
I assume, but
How many levels of it are you taking? What? I'm gonna pull up the. What like abilities do you have? We're working with like the interim rulebook that I'm editing on the back end, not the one that's on the wiki per se.
yeah. I only took 1 dot in demonic.
Mm-hmm.
1 additional dot. The first dot doesn't count.
Yeah.
So I took 1 dot in demonic. 2 weapon, 2 brawn, 2 elemental, 1 ritual.
Okay.
Is what I've decided. Someone's got to be able to do wards for us, you know?
Okay. So, are you a traditionalist based on what you were taught? Or is it one of those things where it's like you have this background, but you went and moved away because you want to learn all kinds of other shit? There's also a third option.
Would being demonic magical fit in the traditionalist Cloud Kingdom style?
No.
So probably not.
But that's kind of the only thing. If anything, like, you kind of would be like the black sheep of a school because everything else makes you a really good, like, magical martial artist. But, like...
Yeah, I think that could maybe just make me the black sheep. Like, I do follow, like, the traditional martial artist stuff, but I just don't, like, I also am demonic.
Do people have all their skills and stuff like that? Do you guys want to do your benefit and drawback and then jump into equipment?
I think I've got my skills and abilities down.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have to have, like, a skill? Like a special, or I guess ability? What's the one you fill in the brackets as optional?
Is there anything that you want to put in there? Because you have a couple of options. For the magical stuff, those are specific, like, magical schools that have their own, like, set abilities. For the mental, that would be a mental specialization, so you could be, like, an architect. You could be a monsterologist, right? And, of course, then you have the physical ones, which could be crafts. You could be a contractor. You could be a tool maker, a weaponsmith.
So this is what let me float you my dots so far. So I have an additional in weapon and grace.
Okay.
So that's 2. And then I've got an additional in science, and then 3 in doctor, and then 2 in understand.
Okay.
All of these are, like, additional. So I now have 2 weapon dots, 2 grace dots, 2 science dots, 4 doctor, and 3 understand. As, like, all of my...
That's pretty well balanced.
My abilities that have more things than just 1.
Yeah, I think you're set. So you should be able to scroll through the benefits and the drawbacks. Gotta pick one of each.
I also wrote down my benefits and drawbacks for my person.
For your, like,
what is
species
my move
thing.
speed? Oh, right. I always forget that.
If nothing affects it, it's 8/4. Like, if it's, like, you'll explicitly have something tell you it's, like, 10/5 or 6/2 or minus something.
Then definitely not. Perfect. Okay, now I can go back down to skills.
If you want to be faster, there's a benefit called fleet-footed.
That's a very good point.
What do you think,
Oh.
Gid?
Would gadgeteer be a reasonable thing to say for, like, a physical craft? Like...
Yep. You MacGyver
Cool.
things. You make tools for very specific situations.
Yeah. Like,
And if I check the... Because I didn't give every single, like, nickname and specialty. It's some of that is just more fun if you meet the people. But in terms of the... God, where are they? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 6 people in all the other parties who have similar skills. And, like, I count that way because the Firehouse 4 has 2. The Allied Independents have 2. Like...
In terms of gadgeteer? Or well,
that's the thing, right?
Big Mac?
So, in the Firehouse 4, they have, like, the first rigger, who's basically, like, the person calling, the person, like, getting the lines and the hoses ready. They have their engineer, who's the engineer. In the Rogue Rangers, they have Platypus Pete, who's their solutions guy. And keep in mind, like, the difference between you and Platypus Pete would be, like, you don't do everything out of a backpack, per se. Platypus Pete is like, I've got a stick, I've got a little bit of a rubber band, and I can get us out of this pit. And then in the Cleansing Light, they just have straight up a contractor. Like,
yes.
The guy does plaster, drywall. If it was the modern day, he would do electrical and plumbing. Like,
yep.
Even now, he does
all.
plumbing, which is impressive for the period. That's a very niche skill set.
I'm still trying to decide what's the funniest place to be from. It might be... What people would be like the town of Pine Lodge? Like, I might just straight up be, like, from this area. That's the...
Well, you could have a different people if you want that to be your background, but you could have grown up in Pine Watch and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm from the, like I have the Leg Breaks people because I was raised with the way my family taught me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, local boy from Pine Watch.
Local boy from Pine Watch, you know. The thing about the Pines is that, like, forest fires are a big deal if you live in a city up in the trees. He kind of has a Smokey the Bear sort of person. He lost his parents in a big tragic fire. He found them again a couple days later, but it was still very scary.
Okay. So are you guys still pondering the benefits and drawbacks? Do you want to sit on those, or?
I am
We can
picking
take
Battle
longer.
Mage and atypical.
Okay.
Alright.
That goes well with it.
Yes.
It does. I'm looking through the benefits, and I'm trying to decide... let me see here, because there's a couple I had my eye on. Would it be... Like, I'm kind of thinking about taking, I think it's called Commander?
Oh yeah, I think it's Battle Tactician. It might
Battle
be called.
Tactician, I think. Here we go. Hand Dispel, Artillery Weaver, Disarm, Trip, Surgical Strike, Tester, Crush, Sniper, Stonewall. Excuse me. Warden, Death Hunter, Elven Haze, Size Up. Yes, Tactician.
That's the one. Where you get one extra off turn that you can't use, but all of your off turns you could delegate.
Yup.
I love that one. It's so much fun. Because, like, there's so many people who love to backseat play other people's characters and don't actually want to play the game that much themselves. So it's like, what if that wasn't toxic?
Yeah. So that, I think that's fun.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple of those I want to take. Yeah.
In terms of languages, it's not based on, like, your mental skill anymore, is it? It's just...
Yeah, it's just based on who you are.
Okay.
So, you guys you aren't like locals from a tiny podunk town. You all speak trader tongue because you have to buy things at the market and talk to travelers.
Okay.
I'll pull up the rule book myself for languages. There's a couple that they speak around here. And one thing I brought up way before, like, behind the scenes when we were planning this, was talking about the different types of environments, and you guys were okay with the idea of a border town, plus, like, the other thing. So part of this is going to involve the fact that you're operating in 2 different countries. Okay, where is this?
Like Windsor.
Yeah, no, honestly. Where Ottawa Gatineau.
Yeah. So
what
I
do
have... Wait, let me do my benefit drawback potentials before we
I gotta pick a drawback.
too far. So I'm thinking helper, researcher, or fleet-footed. I'm leaning towards more like helper or researcher, I think. But do you start off with any tomes?
You would be able to buy them in your starting equipment.
So then, alternatively, like, I know Helper is, like, stupidly useful.
What is Helper again?
You get plus 10 to a roll as long as you're helping someone else, which means basically you can't pick what the skill is, but you can get a big bonus.
So, potentially that. Researcher...
Don't you have to have, like, points in the skill, though?
Normally, anyone can help, but they need points in the skill. With Helper, you don't need points, and you get plus 10 to just, like, as long as you're not the only person doing it, like, and someone else is telling you what to do, then you get plus 10.
Okay.
I have the languages pulled up here. There's a language called Flu that they speak around here. It's an old, like, patois between shit and Draconic. People speak it down in the swamps, and they speak it up in the trees. So it sounds a little bit like Draconic, but also like the language that, like, the squirrel folk and rat folk speak. A little bit north of there, you have, sorry, I was just looking through this. You have one called Lore, and that's the, like, language of the Volpe and the Lupus and the Domesticus. As a, like, tiny note, it's one of the languages that's a major, like, source for the conlang that is Trader Tongue, but otherwise, like, it does have some history, but a lot like Spanish in real life. Like, it's gone through very much like a standardization procedure. It's a very crisp, easy-to-learn language.
I'm definitely going to have that one because that's where I'm from.
It would make some sense to maybe know Torgish if you wanted to. You could know a little bit of Elvish or Dwarvish if you study ruins. You could know some Westron or Draconic if you're going outside the borders, going a bit further.
What would Cloud Kingdom speak?
Cloud Kingdom would be Draconic, and in Celestia you would know Sky Tongue.
Is there anything that I would know specifically being a long hauler?
That would be Lore. That's the...
I feel like Trader Tongue and Lore make the most sense for me. I think I'm also going to take Helper. I think that's the benefit I'm going for.
Okay. Anybody else still figuring out your benefits and drawbacks?
So if you've seen the Rescue Heroes movie, then you will understand why I am picking chronic illness as my drawback.
Oh, explain.
No, that's a fun little thing that you'll have to watch the movie to figure out. What?
Nobody's gonna watch the movie.
Okay, fine. In the big.
I'll watch the movie with you, Gabe.
Fine. Chelsea watched the movie with me and enjoyed it very much.
I think I was asleep for half of it.
I know, enjoyment.
It's like the big plot point is that he gets poisoned, but he wants to be a big, strong man, and he won't tell everybody that he's slowly dying.
As big, strong men do.
Yeah, I think the closest thing to that is chronic illness, where he just requires 10 points of doctoring each day. And he tries to pass it off as like it's nothing, except for then when his young, plucky upstart tries to play basketball with him, and he catches a basketball, it hurts his hand where the mean plant spiked him, and he like tries to shake it off. And then he argues with him. But then when he passes out, the young, plucky upstart needs to learn how to be a good leader and not throw himself into danger.
Yeah. You know, given the environment, if you said you have a chronic illness literally because of, like, you didn't treat mean plant poison in time, that is 100% lore accurate to the area around Pine Watch. Like...
Yeah. He has mean plant poison.
Yeah.
Can it be a volcano plant?
Yes, from north, near the northern part of your service area where you hit the mountains.
Perfect.
I will say, though, it's not just like you got pricked and now you're sick. It's one of those things where, like, this is a story you tell the kids because, like, if you had been treated in the first hour, but, like, you tell me, is this...
Rescue Heroes!
Is this like you tried to be tough, or is this like genuinely you were isolated and you got too deep in, and then like this is what happened because you only got treated like later, and
It's
then
like a
you're
bit
like,
of both.
oh, it's got the long-term damage because like,
It's like a situation where 100% he could have taken a step back and stopped carrying those kids down from the exploding volcano, but he was like, no, there's still kids up there. I got to go back in, and they're like, buddy, there's lots of us. Like, there's like 10 of us here. We
You're
can
like,
all go. And he's like, no.
look, buddy, this is my Bonnie Tyler moment. Okay, they need a
Yeah.
hero, and
Yeah,
it's the
they
edge
need
of the
a
night.
hero. Yeah. Legend says that if you rescue enough small children, eventually a mysterious organization will offer you membership,
Yeah.
and they give you great big boots. And I want those. I want to be a hero. I want to be those boots. I'm going up the
Real
mountain.
fuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you see my boots. They're pathetic compared to the big boots I'm gonna get. And then as a result of like not taking the day off to go see a doctor, he has permanent plant poison.
Yeah.
But he did save the
Got a
kids.
medic.
So like I don't know. They probably would have been fine otherwise, maybe. But don't tell them that.
So, is that it for benefits and drawbacks?
I still need to take my drawback. So I'm thinking somewhere between grounded or routine. So grounded is the one where when selecting this benefit, one person in game that my character trusts. So if I have like a certain things will send me spiraling, and I have to like have one person to ground me. So I'm thinking because I'm kind of small, I could
me.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Not
Because, like,
because I'm like particularly like a good therapist, but I'm just like a big strong person, and I'll be like, to your
I
problem.
was thinking, so I have sensory sensitivity, because I have like really good hearing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like you aren't a therapist, but you have massive hands, so you can just like hold my head like over my ears until like I can like calm down. You literally need to have no like mental ability to just like look over and see me freaking out and just like walk out with your hands like this.
That'd be pretty funny.
Okay, so then I'm gonna go with that one.
Alright. In that case, equipment. We're gonna do this in parts. So, you start with 7 days supplies, 7 days of rations, 5 gold, 5 silver, and 5 copper just in your pocket.
5 gold, 5 silver, 5 copper. Is that
Yep.
what you said? Okay.
And 7 days of each, supplies and rations.
7 days of supplies, rations.
So, that's like your stuff that's gonna end up in your pocket no matter what. You can't spend that money till the game starts. But you can spend it minute 1 of the game. Your personal inventory, you've got 20 gold to spend, but you can take any excess money from your personal inventory, put it back into your pocket if you don't want to spend it, or you could put it into a group fund. Normally that's where
Sorry,
this
how
ends.
much gold? Say that one more time. Sorry.
20. The last section, though, is you, because of the fact that you are allied with Allied Independent, you as independents get to decide what you do with your 40 gold wagon construction budget. And I have many options.
Ooh. Okay.
20 gold to spend. We also have one full outfit, a backpack, a tool knife, a mug, and a water skin.
Indeed you do. So
What
if
are
you
my
want the big
encumbrance
boots,
rules?
they're... Right, so unless something says that it's otherwise, you have 25 encumbrance in your worn inventory and 25 in your stowed. Worn means it's literally strapped to you, or like it's in your belt, you can just boom. Stowed takes an action to reach into your backpack and fish out. Or, a
Okay.
messenger bag or your pockets or what have you.
So, can I have a dog?
That's an item.
Yeah. Now, like, because Maya's a dog.
Yes.
I wouldn't take Maya on adventures.
No. She likes, like, walking in the forest or, like, some casual sniffing through garbage adventures.
Yeah. So, like this is this an adventuring dog or is this like a Maya sort of dog? You know what I'm saying?
You need like a German Shepherd or
Yeah,
like a
like I'm not-
Belgian.
Like, I'm not asking for a dog that's gonna do anything in combat. Just a dog that can, like, I don't know, sniff
Run
out
away.
people if they're buried under rubble, and then run
Yeah, like
away
a
when there's
bloodhound.
danger, or maybe bark if there's something dangerous at night. You know, like normal dog stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna roleplay it as like you have a pet dog that's good at a thing.
Okay.
If you wanted anything more trained, I would kind of just have you do it through like Hengstrude, or like have you have a skill that's like animal handling.
Yeah.
But for just a pet, basically, like, you know how there are terriers and like retrievers and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Taking that and giving it a bit of leeway because we're playing fantasy, what job does your dog have?
Like, I feel like the same job that I have, which is
Rescue?
finding people and helping them. Like, he is a rescue dog. He sniff people and he bark until I come get them.
So,
You
like
know?
a Dalmatian, a Saint Bernard?
Yeah, like a Dalmatian who sniff out people and bark. You know, like a pointer. Like, you know, like when you go hunting and you have a pointer dog that point. It's like that, but he point at person.
So do
that
you
need
want
help.
like a cute IRL Dalmatian dog, or do you want a weird fantasy dog?
Weird fantasy dog? Of course. I
Okay.
am Torg after all.
So, squirrels, when they climb up and down trees, the way their wrists work, they can go the full way around to grip properly upside down or right side up.
Oh, I hate it. Okay.
Around here, you have great forest tree dogs. They're a rescue dog. The only problem is if they run after a squirrel, they can go up and down the tree just as fast. They do the
I
same
love 'em.
thing. They can just like bark at you from like 2 meters up, like facing you upside down a tree, trying to play.
He's perfect. What a perfect dog. Now he can get cats out of trees.
He also has a squirrel tail.
Well, yeah. So does Maya.
That's true. Maya is here.
What's your
Yeah.
weaponry like for all of
Tail.
you?
I thought your arm was like deformed for like a quick second when I kind of
So
looked
I
over
have a
it.
Dane
Yeah,
axe.
it's Maya's butt.
So you're
That's
looking at a
my
Dane axe.
axe of choice. Yeah.
Is it primarily a firefighting axe, or is it like a monster slaying axe that happens
I
to have a
think-
nice heavy head for busting through doors?
It is like for an average human, a monster fighting axe, but for an average red torg, a door busting axe. You know,
Okay.
like in terms of size. And then in terms of what it's got on it, it has one head for cutting and one head for smacking.
Okay.
Whether that, it's probably door, but, it's wood. That's what we tell the sheriff. Yeah, this is a wood
Like
cutting axe.
Like how a
Uh,
fire axe, it has like a, the regular like axe head for axe things, but it also has that pick so you can pry.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, this is probably for a door, but it will hurt something if it hits it. You know?
Well, no, they put those on warhammers because they hurt.
Yeah. So that's 4 gold right there. Means I got another 4 gold to spend.
I'm gonna be quietly flipping through my pages here because I also have the local events guide and a couple of eateries and things to do in different towns around here.
So what armor? Because I was thinking like heavy brigandine as like a full firefighter outfit.
That would be
Um,
perfect, because then the whole thing
okay.
can be, like, covered and, like, treated on the outside.
Yeah. And gold. So that means I have 4 gold left for nonsense. Let's see here.
I feel like I should have a two-handed weapon and I should have a one-handed weapon.
Okay.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
I should have a Dane axe and, like, a sword.
We should all have Dane axes. That would be.
Yeah.
That was my first thing when I recruited all of you. I said, "Come join my firefighting team. You get an axe."
Okay, I was saving this for later on, but I feel like now's the time to bring it up because it's funny. This was like literally the last thing, but I mentioned it really early on. Now that you guys are hired, you can do, as Allied Independent, more contracts, and there are default contracts that are picked. So in total, you have local emergency dispatch, you have investigations, population control, inspections and repairs, which is one category, pest control, advanced monster response, and now that you guys are hired, they're ready to do prepare and prevent stuff, which is basically like if you know a problem's going to happen, you get allotted there before it hits. Second chance insurance, adventuring parties try, they fail, they pay a fee so that you can come and fill things. Or
That's
come and fix
fun.
things afterwards. Road response, literally just like imagine CAA, but there's big monsters that attack if the vehicle doesn't get fixed in time. They could just send a wagon repair person, but this is like if something happens on the road that's dangerous, or like there's a section that's overgrown, infested, something like that. Last one, of course, search and rescue. They didn't have... They weren't of a sufficient size to get these contracts, but now that you're hired, they're there. There are defaults, like the different parties call dibs. So Firehouse 4 has hard dibs on local emergency dispatch. You guys can still get allotted it, of course. But like they really want to be the people who are always there. Cleansing Light calls hard dibs on investigations, Rogue Rangers on population control. And then both the Firehouse people and the Cleansing people do like inspection and repair stuff. The Firehouse and Rangers do pest control, and the Cleansing and Rangers do advanced monster response. You guys are able to get all contracts, but if you call dibs, you can get like guaranteed every week, or like priority, or like, you know, as a GM, if I want to make a big fun thing, I'll make it your wheelhouse. So,
Yeah.
is there something in there that really sticks out, or is there something in there that's missing that you'd like?
The roadside one sticks out to me as something that we're uniquely qualified for. I mean, we have me who can fix wagon.
Hmm.
We have Ray who can fix people, and we have Chelsea who can ward off big monster.
Who can fix monster problems.
Yeah, who can fix monster by castrating them. That one strikes me as like as something
Okay.
that is both right in our wheelhouse and also something that the new team on the block would get saddled with, you know.
Hmm.
Feel like you could take some like really rad side deals from that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like charge the fee for like, you know, saving you or whatever, but then if they happen to give us like a fun gift, that's fine. Because we saved you.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
you can continue on your way. But give us a gift though.
Alright.
And as for a wagon,
Yeah, are you guys good for your equipment? Do you want to move on? Or are you still...
Like
I'm-
not even remotely close.
Not
even
even a
close.
little bit.
Okay.
huh?
So everything
I've-
about
I've-
weapons. Armor?
I'm looking at weapons.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm still at weapons / shield.
Oh.
I'm not
I'm
gonna.
thinking like a hatchet.
Hmm.
Because that's like on brand for like our firefighter activities.
No.
It's pretty small. But like, do I need anything else? Like, do I need... I feel like I can't just have a hatchet. Can I kill someone with that? Well, I mean, yes, you can kill someone with a hatchet, but like...
Hatchet, shield.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like a buckler shield.
Mhm.
feel like that's probably a good.
There is a typo.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Where?
Uh-oh.
On page 45, it's light armor, medium armor, and then light armor again.
I'm pretty sure I've scrolled past that 3 times. It'll get caught in the next edit.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Actually, you know what? I think that might be caught in the next edit, but I didn't turn it into a PDF and send it because it's only halfway through this round of editing.
How do you... So there are some things that we can sort of put towards wagon costs. And one of those, my pitch, is that we get some, like, good doctor tools in there. Like...
Yeah.
Like, you know... if you want to carry doctor tools with you, that is also a good thing to do, but like
a central supply.
Yeah. And I'm also wanted to see if I can pitch that as a way to cover the 5 gold for my tools.
No.
For gadgeting.
Absolutely not.
Boo. Yeah, I opened with your doctor tools.
We all need to have doctor.
Yeah.
Remember when we decided on that at the beginning? Remember that?
Okay, I mean,
Well,
yeah.
let's fill out the other inventories first to figure this out.
Yeah, because I feel like I would be a little bit more open to the wagon costs once I actually like know what my own possessions are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you got the shield, you got the hatchet. Are you wearing armor?
Yes. Like, probably. But,
Slows you down.
like, probably not, honestly. Maybe I could take, because I'm not wearing armor, like, I'm not gonna go armor, maybe I'll take, either a hand crossbow or a sling. Because then I can throw bombs at people's faces.
True.
A sling is good because you can also use it to hold somebody's arm up if they break it.
Ooh, okay. I can do that.
Alright.
I like this plan.
I'm trying to decide between heavy brigandine and chain and plate.
Good question. Do you want like a coated exterior and colors, or do you want to walk around in your heavy clinkin? Because one of them's like a big heavy jacket, the other one is classic armor. People look at you and they go, Protect.
Protect.
And full plate is difficult. It's got all these gaps and you have to align them. Chain and plate is very much like a, you're not supposed to be hitting me anyways, this is just in case, but fucking let's go kind of thing.
Yeah, I
We
don't
have
full
to.
plate.
Are we looking at any like tent bedroll?
I got a tent and a bedroll.
There is a very good chance, especially if you're on road response, that you're going to be sleeping on the road.
Yeah.
You'll have home apartments, but road.
Yeah. Should probably invest in some of those.
Unless, do you guys want to pause this and I give you like a bit of an idea of what the wagon has?
Sure.
Sure.
Alright, let's move through these. So, wagons. Paper noise. So, in addition to just the basic wagons that are in the rulebook, you have all this stuff from like, 1 horse, 2 horse, 4 horse. The wagons go now up to 4 horse articulated, which is basically like an extra cost, but they're detachable and you could plonk one and keep moving with the other. So it's 2 horse wagons. You can do 6 horse wagons, which are covered, enclosed, or like nomad wagons that come with their own sleeping quarters. 6 horse houses 3 people. You could get the 6 horse to be articulated, like based on the number of articulations you buy. So you could have like a 2 and a 4 stuck to each other.
6 horses is a lot of horses to take care of.
It is a lot of horses. And 8 horses would be maximum 2 articulations, so like 2 2s and a 4, or like 2 4s or something, or a 2 and a 6.
That's like Optimus Prime.
2 or 3 horses is like max horses.
So you have lockers that you could throw on there. Basically, they take up a smaller amount of your wagon inventory, but they expand it so that, like, in this, you can get stuff. You can get crew and individual lockers. If you get individual lockers, it's more expensive, but it adds it to the worn inventory per member as long as you're within a square of the party. Crew is the same thing, but for the entire party. It counts as your worn inventory. You can get a fluid tank. You decide the fluid. It can be water. It can be fucking napalm. Whatever you want to put in there. And then you would just pay, like, however much for, like, the hose. You have to pay for the nozzle. You could get a ladder, which is based on distance, freestanding or extending. It can go up to 3 stories. You've got an extendo cab, which is your basic, like, you know on trailers how someone will go and the kitchen goes like a foot out? There's those. But, like, it's a tent and a bedroll and a lock. So you sleep inside the wagon. The seats, basically, like, you have driver and shotgun for free, so you can actually literally drive the wagon, but you can upgrade those with additional benches, with couches, with side chairs, and you can get carriage sections that are fully enclosed. You could get ride bars and grab bars, so you just jump on and hold on as you rocket down the road.
So, I don't want to derail you too much, but we made a big mistake by not playing all alchemists and having 1 tank of healing potion and 1 tank of poison, and then a big nozzle on a turret, and that's, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
I say this is the wagon.
That drawback where all of us need alchemical healing, and you can just drink from the wagon.
It's just your Gatorade.
Yeah. Like, I say this as the wagon wouldn't explode on our second adventure.
Yeah.
Lil would let us get away with it once. Would not let Gabe's shenanigan succeed the second time. Without a complication.
So I'm going to burn through the last of the wagon info before we go back to
Yes.
equipment. You can get mounted weapons, cannons, and ballistas. You can get cages of various sizes if you want to capture things. And then, in terms of miscellaneous things, there's a siren, there's a searchlight, there's a fold-out table, and there's an awning. I was reading siren at the same time. The siren is manual, so someone has to sit there and go...
Like, we need a siren. Like, that's
Okay.
not debatable.
They're pretty expensive.
I feel like...
They're a complicated
How much
thing.
is it?
5 gold.
That's not that expensive. That's
So with that in
practically
mind...
free. It's practically free.
See, okay,
Let's go
but
back to
if
personal
I use
inventory.
if I use 5 gold to buy tools, then I can build us many sirens.
Like... I feel like if you get 5 gold out of the 40 gold wagon
Yeah.
gold, we all get 5 gold.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, then I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Cause like, how much is a doctor bag? Cause I want one
How
like.
much is the wagon? We like, guys,
Right.
we have to buy the wagon.
Oh. How much is the wagon?
So some of those are in
'Cause I
the
think we only
rulebook.
want-
The bigger ones I have the costs for.
I feel like we only want 2 horses. We're all stupid. We're not gonna be able to keep these horses alive. Like, I might be able to keep the horses alive.
You do have a fleet manager.
Yeah.
right.
So 2 horse enclosed wagon is 15 gold.
Okay, 15 gold for a 2-horse enclosed wagon.
And then 5
Um,
gold per person takes out 30 gold, so you'd have 10 gold left for accoutrement.
Yeah. 4 horse enclosed is 25 gold. And a 4
I feel
horse
like that's
normal-
too big. I don't know why, but I feel like 4 horses is too many horses. You know, there's only
Okay.
3 of us.
Now, do you want a covered wagon or an enclosed wagon?
I think it would have to be enclosed because ideally we're putting a lot of tools and stuff on this thing. So
Yeah.
if we run away from the wagon, the things need to be there in the wagon when we get back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking 2-horse enclosed wagon
Okay.
Okay.
is good.
Yeah.
What kind of
And then the
pulling thing
horses
do you
also
want?
cost money.
Polling
Right.
thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the rulebook also has the like the pull that various animals will have.
Oh,
a
yeah,
horse
yeah.
is 10 gold.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
God.
like,
So a 2-horse wagon with 2 horses is 35 gold.
so for example, the Hail Mary has, in addition to all of its stuff, a significant budget is instead of having just one big ox that pulls it, they have an ox,
Yeah.
and then they have a bunch of they have a bunch of riding horses that can't pull that much, but that you could get on and ride away if you need to fan out. Let me just go and find.
Oh, I
the...
see. So if we get a draft horse, that's a pull of 2, so we just need the 1.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I see. Okay, yeah. We could get
Oh
a
wait, so we could get 2 draft horse. Oh no.
We don't. We
I don't
could
think
get
we
2
need
draft
it.
horses and a like a big boy enclosed wagon and sort of build on it.
Yeah.
If we get a 4-horse,
We would need 5 more gold.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is also, like, I am struggling to find things to buy.
Really?
Mhm.
I am currently at 8.5 gold of all the things that I want.
If you were to
Goodness.
put 5 extra gold, we could get a 4-horse enclosed with 2 draft horses.
Yeah, I
Keep in
think
mind
that's reasonable.
also, customization is going to be a bit tough.
Right.
That costs money as
Yeah.
well.
See, I think we stick with 2-horse enclosed.
Okay.
Uh,
But if we go 2-horse enclosed, we can't go any bigger. Like, that's the problem.
yeah, that's fine.
You could also get
Well-
a few weeks later, you could get the fleet manager to go and just make an edit to the wagon.
Yeah,
You have a mechanic.
we do have mechanic.
I feel like I would rather start with a bigger wagon.
Are we gonna have a lot of stuff to haul?
What if we need to haul bodies?
Will
Because
we ever
we're-
need to haul bodies?
We're doing, like, search and rescue stuff. If somebody, like think about, like, if a car gets stuck on the side of the road or gets in, like, a really bad car accident,
We
Like,
act
we
as
might
an
have to-
ambulance.
we might have to take someone to the hospital.
In addition to that, maybe you want more pull than you need.
Yeah.
Like, you have a
Yeah.
2-horse wagon, but you have a full ox.
Because
Okay.
I feel like if we had a bigger wagon, we can always grow. Like, we can fill our wagon
Yeah.
with things. It's significantly harder to have a small wagon and then be like, crap, we don't have enough space for this thing that we need.
I'm going to say the mechanic makes it so that both of those options are equally viable. Your expansion is basically, you tell a guy to do things, it's his problem if it's tough, but you can give him money, and Allied Independent, and it's fine garage has all sorts of things. It's located in the lower Palisade of Pine Watch. Come now.
And I think it does make sense to do, like you were saying, Gabe, with the 2-horse enclosed.
We could get an ox too.
And get an
you had
ox.
more said.
Okay, and what I've decided is that I'm just gonna go out and purchase the tools I need session 1 with my.
Mhm.
Because like literally what it is I just need an extra gold to be able to afford it. Like I have 4 gold left over, and it's 5 gold, so I'm just gonna like session 1 buy the tools.
I have 5 silver left of
Yeah.
money.
Like, what are you guys spending all your money on? I have,
Armor!
like, oh, right.
Yeah, I got chain and plate, which was
Right.
11 gold, and then a Dane axe and a battle axe.
Right.
And that was 18 gold by itself.
So I have a hatchet, a buckler, a sling, a tent, and a bedroll, and that's 8.5 gold.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I
have.
feel like what I'll do, because I'm feeling generous, I want to get rope. I would like some rope.
Hmm.
And I think I'd also like to buy, like, cooking stuff. So I'll go for the rope. I'll go for the... What is a grill?
Sorry, off. Outside of this game, we've been playing like a long-term homesteading game where we live in town. So that one's had far more elaborate like cooking rules where it's like you have to make sure you have all your pans.
Yo.
This is literally just like camping supplies. So like the grill that you fold out and stick on top of the fire.
Perfect. So I'm gonna go for a grill. How much rope do we want? Like, a lot?
Well, see, I'm almost thinking, could we have the rope, like, could we have, like, a grappling hook as instead of a big cannon? Like a harpoon.
Yeah, like a tow truck.
Yeah, sort of like a tow truck. Like a big winch with a ballista sort of chung on it.
I would allow that if you count it as a mounted gun, cannon, or ballista, and it is non-lethal. Like, you take away damage capacity.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we want to do, like, in the goal that we have currently set. Like, obviously that goal is going to change as we move forward. Currently, with the goal we have set, we don't want to do damage. We want to do the opposite of damage. So I think it does make sense to, like, have a tow truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tow truck / ambulance, you know? So then, if we have a grill and a cooking pot, whatever money I have left, I'll put towards the wagon. We can get the last little stuff we need, because, like, I have money left over, and I'm not just gonna hoard it like a goblin.
So, what's the current amount of loose money that you have when you put it all together? Outside of your pockets, of course.
Excluding my pockets, I have 5 silver.
Yeah. I have 2 gold kicking around, and that's actually on camping stuff, so I have none money.
I have like 12 gold. I'm not done yet. Like, I'm still, because I want rope, so I haven't purchased rope yet because I don't know how much we want. So how much rope do we want?
Like,
It's by the square.
rope is the single most important item that you can have in D&D. So like,
How much
like lots, I would think.
is per square of length? 1 copper per.
There's a lot of rope you could buy.
Yeah, if you get like.
If you get a gold of rope, you have
50.
100 squares.
Perfect.
Yeah, 100. That's solid. And we could just throw that in the wagon, right? You don't need to carry that around.
Yeah.
Like, that's enough that,
Exactly.
like, up in the high space in the Great Forest, you could, like, start climbing down to the, like, the lower
Like,
canopies.
we could rappel down to stuff.
Yeah.
That would be dope. So we've got, okay, rope, a grill, a pot, 3 things of cutlery. I feel like we're probably gonna want tarp.
Do you want a
Yeah.
tarp, or do you want an awning?
Ooh, what's an awning?
Like an overhang that you can stand under.
Okay.
It, like, hangs off the edge of
One
the
of those things
wagon.
that pulls out.
Yeah.
People put their grill and like some
Exactly, yeah.
chairs under it.
Yeah.
Literally that.
I mean,
So let me count up how much gold I have left. I have 10.9 gold spent.
Spent? Okay.
Okay. So, in terms of the wagon, you're looking at, I think you said an ox. It's a two-horse enclosed wagon. So, when I describe lockers, the entire wagon is a locker, but, like, the lockers are, like, you know, you click them and they slide out, and everything has a little mount, and everything's, like, Batman
Yeah.
style, like, clink, 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 right?
So I'm thinking we get 3 lockers, 1 for each of us.
So the crew locker will cost 15 gold. The individual is 5 gold each. So same price, but, like,
Oh my God.
they would be your own.
The thing, like, our thing is enclosed. I don't think we necessarily need lockers.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, we don't need a locker.
We're
if
sharing
we
a lot
wanna-
of stuff anyways.
If we want to get lockers later, that's always something we can get
Yeah.
later, right?
Sure. So how much would a mounted cannon be? Or like a mounted ballista?
So, the cannon ballista are the same stats, they're just flavor. It's double damage, which wouldn't really happen. This would be more like double roll for projecting a grappling hook. It has a load action and a fire action in combat, so it's slower. It costs 10 gold and takes 25 encumbrance out of your wagon. A mounted gun is regular damage. It gives you +5 to threshold while you're using it. I would be willing to say, if you want to take the +5 to threshold out and just say that's the winching mechanism, I think that's fair.
Sure.
And it would be double the price of whatever weapon you choose.
I see. So probably about 10 gold.
Probably about, yeah.
Okay. So 10 gold for a big ballista harpoon? Are we jiving with that?
Okay, wait, what are we... Are we getting the 2 wagon or the 4 wagon?
Yes, you do, right?
I know, but
the
I'm writing
two-wagon,
it down.
I think.
I just wanted to show you that I'm writing it down. So
Oh.
we have a 2-horse enclosed worth 15 gold.
Okay.
We have an ox worth 10 gold. So we're at 25.
Okay.
Our grappling hook gun is 10 gold.
Okay.
So that's 35. So we've got an extra 5 gold. What else did we want on?
What did you say? What was the ballista? How much is the ballista?
10 gold.
That's the grappling hook gun.
I thought these were 2 different things. The grappling
No.
hook gun and the
It's
ballista.
reflavored ballista.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's. I'm using
Oh.
the stats for mounted weaponry to flavor it as the thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So if you guys are chewing the ballista versus mounted weapon option, then basically, like, this thing goes way further, but it's a big, elaborate piece of machinery that, like, 2 people need to operate kind of thing. You couldn't swivel it around and do it quickly.
Oh, well then we should do the swivel it around and do it quickly thing. Because that to me, I'm envisioning a scenario where it'd be the perfect time to use this insane thing that we've purchased, except for only one of us is there to operate it. Could we like a heavy crossbow that's mounted for 8 gold?
Yep.
Okay, let's do that.
Heavy crossbow's 4 gold, right? Like, that's the double?
Yep,
Perfect.
yep, that's doubled.
So it's not as
Um,
big, it doesn't go as far, and it doesn't have the same pulling power, but it's still a grappling gun, and it can be operated by a single person, quick swivel on the fly.
Yeah.
I think too that like heavy crossbow itself doesn't have the same pull, but we could just like get the ox to like move forward and like,
Oh, absolutely.
the way.
Yeah.
So I think we're totally good there. I think that makes sense.
So then that doubles as also how we're going to tow wagons, because we have a big winch on our wagon. You know,
Hell yeah.
if there's somebody in the ditch, we can gently maneuver the grappling hook down to them and attach it to their wagon.
Yeah. Instead of
Ooh.
firing, you just go clink, and you give the release,
Yeah.
then you go clink, 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 and you hold on to it, and then you clamber it back up.
How much would like construction equipment style braces that go down to the ground and keep our wagon steady while we're hauling things cost?
Sorry, when you say construction-style braces, like chocks?
I think shocks. Yeah, you know, like you got the front end loader and he's going to be lifting something heavy, so he goes like, and like it
Oh.
stabilizes it. You know, it wouldn't be automated. I'm just thinking like wooden, like stops essentially that'll stabilize it, so we don't go like tumbling down the hill.
I'm gonna say, given the amount of effort you're putting into making this a towing wagon, just free. It's part of your fundamental design.
Nice.
Like, you've put so much work in that it's like, of course there's these.
Yeah.
Doing some
I
Rescue
think-
401 stuff.
I think
Yeah.
we have 7 gold left for the wagon.
Okay, do you want me to go through prices for any of the stuff? With
Sure.
the driver and shotgun seats, it means that there's only 2 seats on the wagon. Someone would have to walk alongside.
And the puppy.
Can I
True.
sit on top?
Like in a separate bench? Or on, like, a side chair?
No, like I'm just gonna sit cross-legged on the flat roof.
Yeah, it would just be, like, uncomfortable. And, like, you might have to do a grace check to, like, stay standing if you try to, like, use it while you're moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Or I could,
How
like,
much-
I could ride the ox.
How much are, like...
The ox
So the
isn't gonna
second
like
bench-
that. Ox is not for ride.
Like
No.
a second bench. Like a second sort of
Okay,
bench
the
behind main bench.
additional bench would be 4 gold. A side chair
Okay.
is 2 gold. A whole
I-
carriage section with 2 benches and a locking thing that's separate from your cargo is 15 gold. And a grab/ride bar, so just like, you know, like a space for your foot and one of those things like a dump truck, is 5
Yeah.
silver.
Could we get... So friends, here's what I'm thinking. Second bench, 2 ride bars, 1 on each side.
That's what I was thinking. So like
Yeah.
the 4 gold as like the little bench for me,
Yeah.
and then 2 ride bars.
Or what we
Because
could
then
do is
you
we
guys
could-
can get off, and then anybody who, like, you get from roadside assistance can just get on themselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. And if we have an extra... because we're going to need to carry, like, potentially people that have been rescued. Is there, like, room in the back of the wagon for
Well,
cargo?
let's figure that out. How much is your total wagon encumbrance so far? Like, based on what it
Okay.
gives you
100.
without 100?
100 stowage.
Okay. So with 100, it goes down to 70. No, you got the mounted one. So it doesn't
Yeah.
take up Right, it's double encumbrance. What's the encumbrance for a heavy crossbow?
10. 10 for a heavy crossbow.
Okay. So you do actually save on the ballista. Instead of 25, it's 20 encumbrance.
Yay.
So that brings it down to 80. Did you have an awning? I forget.
No.
Not yet.
No awning.
Yeah.
The
I hope you
benches.
guys are writing this down, because I'm, like, not.
Oh, I'm writing this down so good.
Okay.
I'm taking so many notes.
So the bench is 10, takes 30 out of your 100. The ride bars are 2 each, so it's 34. Is there anything else I'm missing?
No, that's everything I've got so far.
So yeah, you've got a big,
all
big
of our
bay in the
random
back.
crap. All of our random crap that's gonna go in, but
So, like,
that's pennies, I think.
Somebody could lay down in there, reasonably.
Yeah.
so here's kind of what I'm thinking. Like, in my work, I have seen the inside of a like military ambulance, and what they do is they stack the stretchers to like fit as many people as possible in there.
We can get a hammock.
well, not quite a hammock, but sort of like a
Like a bunk bed.
like a bunk bed stretcher system.
How much money do you have
be-
left?
None.
Excellent
None.
question.
We're going into raise.
We still
Yeah.
have some. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have 15 plus 10, 25, 33, 38 gold out of our 40 for the wagon
Okay.
so far.
And that doesn't
And then-
include the extra money pitched in. Because there's 5
No.
silver plus 10 gold.
So kind of how I'm seeing this is that the back of the wagon is Ray's medical bay.
Uh-huh.
And if Ray could make it, I don't know, maybe a little modular, like if we're carrying a bunch of people that aren't injured, we can put the stretchers up. You know what I'm saying? But like,
For 4 gold / 10 encumbrance, I'll let you reflavor a bench as a stretcher. And they'll be inside in the locking section.
The only issue is I don't have a doctor kit yet. How much is a doctor kit?
5 gold, 10 encumbrance.
Okay, so doctor kit.
yeah,
5 gold, 10 encumbrance. So that puts us at...
Oh, Gabe, does your character have your own doctor kit?
no, I don't have my own doctor kit, and I also don't have my tools. Like those are going to be things that I have to go out and like purchase in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, in terms of
'Cause-
doctor kit, it's like I feel like he's gonna have a like a thing of gauze.
Mhm.
Like, make a sling, wrap up wound, get them to Ray. Like,
Alright, so you're still looking for, like, everybody having all their tools as a later expansion. But gadgeteer tools...
I've got
Yeah.
all my tools. I got a Dane axe and a battle axe.
I also have
Yeah.
all my tools.
So would it make sense to use some of the remaining gold on the gadgeteer tools so everybody, like, can play their character, and then when you get everything else, it's to play your character better?
Yeah, I think so.
sure, yeah.
Alright, how much do you have left then?
Okay, so we have... math is so hard. 2 gold plus 4.1 gold.
2 gold.
Okay, 6
and
gold. I'm gonna be back in a bit.
Okay,
6 gold.
yeah, and that's with the gadgeteer tools, right?
This is without the gadgeteer tools. We've
I
got
see. Okay, well,
6
I'll put...
gold left.
Oh, well, I'll throw 2 gold into there. Because that's all I legally can, because I can't dip into my 5 gold pocket money.
So we've got 8.1 gold left.
Yeah, and then
You
if
could
you
have
play
my
more-
0.5 silver, or I guess 5 silver.
Yeah,
So we are at 8.6 gold.
nice. And then if I get gadgeteer tools out of that,
Mhm.
then we have 3.6. And like I'll pitch in some of that 5 gold to get something cool for the wagon. It's just like it's a logistics thing where Will won't let me spend it until we play.
So we have 3.6 gold left.
Oh,
And Gabe gets his tools.
And
I
Jake
get my
gets his-
tools. I'm gonna
Do we
make
want anything else for the wagon?
so here's the problem,
Mhm.
and this is not something we have to do, but how cute would it be to have a little sidecar just for the puppy?
I kind of like that.
He said there's a side seat.
That's
Yeah.
for me. That's for me.
Okay. But there's 2. We got an extra bench though.
Yeah.
The extra bench is for you, isn't it?
We got
And
an
we got
extra
2
bench.
side bars.
We got
The
side
Hello.
sidebars are for like people holding on to the side.
Yeah. And then we have
So
the
the
bench.
I mean
And
the
the-
bench. But if we wanted to get the extra seat for the puppy,
Yeah.
that would be an additional thing.
Wait, so I have
Pup can take a
Not
person
an-
seat, Pup can't take a ride bar, but Pup can also go in the back.
so
But if
I
we made like a specialty seat that was like a side, but specifically for the
Like,
puppy.
we're imagining
2
a
gold,
sidecar
5
on the
encumbrance.
motorcycle.
basket
Side
Oh,
chair,
yeah.
2 gold, 5
Little
encumbrance.
basket.
because I thought we had no second bench and a
Mhm.
side chair for me.
Oh, well, get the
So
second
we-
bench and the side chair for you. I think that's the best bet.
I
Yeah,
thought
we
we
could do.
budgeted for 2 benches, 2 side chairs, not side chairs, grab bars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was
So-
2 benches, two grab bars.
So how much is a bench?
Sorry,
2
1
gold.
bench is free. So each bench is
Really?
4 gold, 10 encumbrance. The side
Yes.
chair, which is the same thing, like you could make like... You could more or less have like a door that opens on the side that's like dog's little spot. And that would be 2 gold for 5 encumbrance. The grab/ride bars are 5 silver and 2 encumbrance.
I had the ride bars and the bench, but I had it written as a side chair.
I see.
So now I have bench
Yeah,
and side chair for 2 gold.
perfect. So
And,
the wagon has
and
the-
for flavor, the side chair is a dog spot, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, a human could sit there, but like you have to, it's legitimately the thing where you have to take the old crusty blanket and put it somewhere else.
hmm
You know, like that's the barrier of changing it from dog chair to human chair.
The funny thing is, like, when you see other people's dogs, you're like, why do you keep giving your dog such ratty stuff? And then when you have a dog, you're like, the dog doesn't like nice things. The dog gets
the dog
angry.
keeps- the dog-
Literal perfect example right here. I gave Stella one of my old disgusting sweaters as like a little blanket for her bed, and she like sucks on that thing. It's really weird. I got Stella this really nice, like, baby blanket, washed it, like, it's so soft. She hates it. Hates it. She likes the sweater. Couldn't tell you why.
You know what it is? It's because it smells like friend. Because, like, that's the thing, is it picks up the smell and they like it. And, like, I remember one of my parents' dogs back in the day, Cleo, you know, you would go up and, like, cuddle her and be like, hey, come on in the bed for a little bit. But then eventually you would have to kick her off because, like, she would lick the bed because it tasted like people sleeping.
Gross.
Stella licks my pillow. Like, right when I go to bed. Like,
And it's right where the head is.
Like, that's where my face goes. Don't.
No,
Don't
it
do
literally
that.
takes...
The worst-
It takes...
The worst part is, it's like, it's a learned behavior, but dogs are really sensitive, so it doesn't matter. All it is your dog tasted the sheets once, a day after you slept there. It doesn't matter how clean the sheets are.
Toast.
The thing is, it takes dyeing your hair once to realize just how much hair juice gets on the pillow. It's like all of it, actually.
Humans are very gross creatures.
Yeah, we just sort of excrete.
We excrete, we have pockets, we have a lot of organs that it used to be, oh, we don't know how these work. But, like, it's becoming increasingly obvious that things like the appendix and tonsils are kind of just meant to be gross so that your body's stronger.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in speculative sci-fi, you're like, oh, what if humans are the warrior race? What if we, like, have these wild artistic passions? It's like, no, we're the gross aliens that fester. We're the goblin aliens, you know?
Yeah. Like, other aliens probably don't get, you know, salivary gland stones.
Those are gross.
Those are pretty gross.
The worst part is, like, they're aggravated by bad tooth health, but they're not caused by it, so you still get them, no matter how good you do. Like, and it's not everyone. It's just like, if you get them, you get them. If you don't, you don't. And it can change depending on, like, your diet or even your age. Like, with no change, just, like, I started getting them. It's a little ones, but, like...
Sucks.
Yeah. It's
That's the worst.
Genuinely, like, if my parents told me when I was a kid that, no, you're gonna have pimples forever now, I would have freaked out. I would have had a meltdown. I would have had an existential crisis. Like...
Yeah.
But, like, a couple years later, when it's like, oh, okay, yeah, fair. Okay, it's just a little bit... But, like, when you're a teenager and you're like, I need to evacuate my pores, it's like it's one of the first... Like, I feel like the big heartbreak of puberty, it isn't the hormones doing stuff to your brain, it isn't the changing of the body, it's the fact that you go from being a kid where, like, if you don't shower for a couple days, it's like, oh, buddy. And then it's like, no, you are now at an age where you can get really fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, and if, like, and when you see a little kid and you're telling them, like, no, you have to get a bath because it makes us clean and happy and it makes it nice for bed. But, like, when you're a teenager, you have to have a bath because otherwise you stink and your room stinks and your house stinks and the car will stink and your locker stinks.
Not me, though. I don't stink, luckily.
And, like, if you're not careful and you don't wear deodorant and you hang around too close to your friends will stink. That's puberty.
Yeah, that's why you all stink, because I hate showers. So...
We have 1.6 gold left.
Okay.
For once, I'm actually dragging us back on track a little bit.
I know, right? Wild.
I looked up names for for a firehouse dog, and one of them was O'Brien.
Oh, Transporter Chief.
Named after Conan O'Brien's red hair.
Oh.
Aww. Okay,
see, I
while
was thinking...
you talk about dog names, I have to take a bio break, so I will be
back in a bit.
back.
So, dog's name is O'Brien. I've decided.
Do you refer to him as Miles?
His name is O. Go. Hero. Oh yeah, because that's fun. You can say hero.
hero. So, there's always other wagon stuff, or you could end up with a bit of spare cash that gets thrown back into the budget.
I mean, we're
There's-
gonna be buying more stuff for the wagon eventually.
You could get a 1-story ladder for a gold.
1-story ladder is not a bad option.
Could get... What else we got? No, that's just about all of it.
Now, if I could go worst names for dogs. These are not gonna be.
Keith.
So here we go. Ask him, or ask her. Like, hey, what's your dog's name? Ask him.
Oh, that's dad tier. Oh, Lord.
When I was 6 and my brother was 5, we got to name our golden retriever. He picked Sonic, as in the hedgehog, and I picked Shoelace. So the dog's name was Sonic Shoelace.
My personal favorite is when you have a pet that has, like, a name, but they very quickly have a personality that outgrows the name. So you have to explain, it's like, okay, no, this dog's name is Fergus, but he's Burger. You know?
Yeah.
He's Burger.
Yeah.
Burger
yeah.
slash Burgie.
I have recently started calling mine Stinky. I don't really even know. Like, she's not really. Like,
It's just the running gag with you
Yeah.
and a dog that can't make running gags.
yeah.
There was... Okay, so this guy named their dog Stain,
Mm-hmm.
so that when they told it to come,
I
It
hate
would be-
that.
They would say, Stain, come?
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I hate that. I hate that so much.
I think if you name your dog that, you should get your dog taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about coin, we were talking about stuff. We could also just have that be the remnant of your budget and say that the wagon's done.
We could spend 1.6 gold on decorations.
We could. What do liveries go for?
Depends on what you want to put on.
We gotta pick a team color. I don't think we ever established that.
Right. Gets painted
Okay,
for free,
black.
gets the name on it for free, everything else is extra.
I thought we decided on
Yeah,
like
we were
black or
we
Yeah,
were discussing black.
Okay, so you're the black stripe.
The blacks. I gotta Google that real quick. See if that comes up with anything terrible.
Have to
Shit.
quickly make sure that the logo that you're thinking of isn't a hate symbol.
Yeah, shit. Whoops.
Hey, I know! Let's put a thin blue line along the side. Let me just Google that real quick.
Ooh! Tasteful.
Yep. Okay, I just want to say, one of the most infuriating things I've seen is, like, after people got yelled at for all the thin blue line stuff, you saw people putting, like, we respect all emergency services. And it's just like, no. No one is protesting paramedics and firefighters. We all love them because they do their job.
Yeah, if a firefighter broke into your house and shot your dog. Yeah. Okay.
See, I was gonna say, like, something about, like, oh, what would a firefighter do to break in your house? And it's like, actually, no, they have an axe to break into your house.
Yeah.
Like,
Um.
that's what that axe is for. It's to get in the house. Or through the house, or within the house. Up the house, down the house. Everywhere a house
Since we're
house.
firefighters, like, officially now, do we need a ladder?
Ladder would be good. Yeah.
A
How much is a
one-story
ladder?
a one-story ladder is a gold.
One-story
Boom.
ladder.
And it's
Like a
separate
hook?
from the rope that you have for the grappling hook. So
How much
If-
encumbrance?
the ladder is. I moved past it. No encumbrance. It's just flat strapped to the side.
Cool.
Nice. Okay, so we have 0.6 gold left, and I think that's probably.
You guys could
jump into
take-
our starting fund.
You guys could take 2 silver each and start in payment.
Yeah.
In which
Cool.
case, the last thing is your location, where you're living. That being said,
Silver?
just to make sure, do you guys have a party name? Do you have a wagon name? Do you
we
want to
be-
spend that on livery?
Can we be the Stripes? Can we?
The stripes.
Yeah, and just have like high vis stripes. That's our thing.
What are you gonna make high vis stripes out of?
I don't know. High vis paint.
Luminescent
Do we
moss
want to
paint?
be high vis? Like,
I don't know. I'm just pitching ideas here.
could be
Well-
the white stripes and just
Yeah,
actually be black stripes.
Well, if there's the
paint
Firehouse
big
4, the Rogue Rangers, and the Cleansing Light, what's your specialty, and how's that like in the name?
We could be married, and then have the same last names because we're married, and then get a divorce, but then keep the same last names, and then tell everybody that we're siblings,
True.
and we can call ourselves the White
Is
Stripes.
polyamorous marriage legal in this area?
This started as a White Stripes joke, but in the Triple Confederacy, compared to the Northern Vencrum does not have any polyamorous laws. It is monogamous, and it has really intense like inheritance law. In the Triple Confederacy, a lot of the individual places have their own individual laws, which is a nightmare for a greater country, but it means that like there are places that have their own ordinances for like larger family structures. A lot of the polyamorous stuff would come from down in Patcham, which doesn't have the best relationship with the Triple Confederacy, but it's not like long-standing grudges. It's like recent, we were brothers and you betrayed us kind of shit. When the big war happened, Patcham closed the gates and wouldn't take refugees, and then there's a city called Outgate that started because like all the people who came from the mining towns on the outside of Patcham on the Ring Mountains tried to come back and couldn't, and it started as a camp, and then they barricaded inside, and then they started like tunneling through to make like toll routes through the gate. So like the gate is shut with holes dug out of it. Now there's a separate town on the outside that's like the processing town for this enclosed enclave. So
I think the marriage idea is terrible, but
Okay.
Because like, what would our last name be?
White.
like the Stripes.
Like the Stripes.
like Bridget
Mhm.
of the last
Um,
campaign.
True.
We could be.
And with 7 nations, you could build an army.
Yeah.
We could be the do-betters. It's like the do-gooders, but grammatically correct.
The do-betters. Oh, what are we doing? Are we doing better than
No.
other people?
No, it's a play on like do-gooders,
Yeah.
but grammatically correct.
So what is your thing as a party? Are
Well, my
you
thing
like
is,
the
like-
rapscallions? Are you the rough and tumbles? Are
Like,
you
I feel like we're the underdogs, right? Like, almost definitionally, by like the fact that we have 3 members and a dog, and I don't know.
I feel like we do like we're search and rescue.
Yeah.
We're kind of scary looking.
Scary
the,
looking search and rescue sort of underdoggy people.
yeah, the Saint Bernards,
The St. Bernards aren't scary.
the hound
Okay, let's-
dogs?
hound dogs,
Hound dogs.
the bloodhounds.
Oh,
We'll
that's-
find
You've also got your wagon names. So you could do a thing where you're the hound dogs and the wagon's the bloodhound. Like the
Like, I
where did I
don't-
put it down?
I don't hate like bloodhounds will find you, because it's also like it's positive, but also like we'll find you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like
we'll
it's one of
find
the
you.
it's one of those things where
We'll find you.
you're oh, you know what it is? Because you know how I mentioned there's like the default contracts.
Yeah.
I was gonna have several because like each of the teams has like their primary, 2 secondaries, then they take whatever they have. Your primary is road response, but there's also
Yeah.
search and rescue. There's all the other things like the prepare and prevent, the advanced monster response. But you could also do the second chance insurance.
Like if I 100% second
Like-
chance insurance.
Like the heroes fail, so you root for the underdogs.
Yeah. The Bloodhound's very fun.
We could do the underdogs as like our team name, and then have our wagon name be like Bloodhound.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay. I like it because we also have a. Does any other team have a dog? Because that's going to be embarrassing if they do.
The only one is the Firehouse 4. Different dog.
Those Firehouse 4.
I think we need to run the Firehouse 4 out of town. Like,
Yeah. I like. That was legitimately something me and Will were talking about. Like,
Not running them out of town, like Gabe's character
Yeah.
being a former member of them, but like
yeah. They used to be the Firehouse 5.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Crying all the time.
Crying all the time. I like the underdogs. I like the Bloodhound. Any other ideas?
Maybe something not dog related?
Okay. The Pussycats.
the Scrappers.
oh,
The Scrappers. The
Because then that's
Scrapers,
fight, but also scrap, but also like salvage.
The Undertakers.
I like the
that's
scrappers.
Scrappers.
Mm-hmm.
Scrappers is good because, like, you know, you take your car in for scrap.
Mm-hmm.
but will we be pillaging their stuff after? Because
No.
if so, then scrappers
Um,
make sense. But like if we're saving them, we probably aren't allowed to like pillage their stuff. You know?
Problem is, I also came up with road dogs, which is a fun thing to say,
The road dogs?
but that's also dog related.
Mm-hmm.
But see, I am also a dog, so like 50% of our party.
It's dog.
And
could
dog.
change-
It's sort of canine.
Scrap cats.
Scrap cats. The
You know what? Let's table this
They're
for a
tired.
second, because there's one more thing we have to deal with before the end,
Okay.
and then we can finalize.
Okay.
Where are you guys going to live? Because there are a wide variety of housing options. Only some of the places in town have housing. Some of them are just like market districts and stuff, but the city of Pine Watch is unique in its construction because it's halfway between like a treetop city and a ground city.
yeah.
I just gotta find the big old map for myself. There it is. So, at the base of the city, you have the upper palisade and the inner palisade. The upper palisade is on the ground. It has like a whole bunch of like wood slatted walls with little watchtowers, gates. Inner palisade is a little lower, but it connects the upper palisade with the first of several trees. These trees are massive architectural and magical undertakings by like druid growers. So these things are made to have like traffic lanes inside of the tree, and they have like support beams that are deliberately grown. They take the entire branches of these like giant sized, like hundreds and hundreds of meters tall, like
Yeah.
a redwood seems short in comparison. These branches, they're able to pull and twist into alleys and roads, and then from there they even flatten them out and add little like log supports to make it so you can ride alongside them. And although it seems precarious in description, and it can very often be precarious where you guys are doing your work, here in the depth of Pine Watch, They're braided together, they're thick. These things are stronger than, like, Roman aqueducts. And they're still alive. So you've got those two lower palisades, and they go up two ways. One of them is the Watcher's Pine. That's where a lot of administration, defense happens. That's where the local guard is kept. There's a military detachment, and where all of the, like, local governance happens. You can ride up it to get up to, like, the upper market streets, but you could also take something called the heavy cargo funicular. It's specifically an angled rail. It's spelled Funicular. It's a real thing.
Okay.
Basically, big, like, stonework and woodwork thing that connects, like, another one of the high bits, but instead of having to go and get a wagon carry everything, you load them on, and then this big thing just goes click, 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 up a few hundred meters.
Ooh.
So,
Cool.
there's that first Watcher's Pine, and then there's two other major trees that make up the bulk of Pine Watch. One of them is... Oh, where is it? So one of them is called the Merchant's Branch. It's a term, but really it refers to the tree itself. The other one is the Wizard's Oak. Sorry, it's the Trader's Oak, I should say, not the Merchant's Branch. The Merchant's Branch comes off. There's the Trader's Oak and the Wizard's Oak. The Wizard's Oak has education, magic, like magical services. There's a university in there. The Trader's Oak has a lot of manufacturing and warehousing and, like, artisanship that goes on. There's a separate place, the Merchant's Branch, which I misread, which is attached to it, that connects in with the other ones. That's your standard commercial district. Is there anything else I'm missing? The Lower Palisade does a lot of import and export. The Lower Palisade is actually where the Allied Independent Garage is. It's on the ground, so you just need to take the funicular up, or you can go through the Inner Palisade and take the Watcher's Pine up, or you could just go out the gates and out into the north.
Dude, like, I feel like this guy lives as close to the shop as possible.
Okay.
Yeah,
Close
that's
to the
sort of what I'm
HQ.
thinking.
Like, Lower Palisade, 100%. Like, literally the closest available apartment is the one you would go to. He wants to be, like ready, you know, for the middle of the night, he's there. If he could
Alright.
live above it, he would.
So there's the Lower Palisade, and then in addition to those, there's a bunch of branches. Like, there's the Trader's Branch, and there's other ones that have names like Overlook Branch, Windythorpe Branch, Westerham Branch, and they're just different types of neighborhood. So for housing, most of them are up in these pines, or they're in, like, the different branches. The Inner Palisade has two options. One of them, for 4 gold a month, is a studio apartment over a place called Bertrand's Garage. For 12 gold, there's a 3-bedroom house for rent. There's also stuff in
get it.
Overlook, Windythorpe, Trader's Oak, and Wizard's Oak.
Oh, the 3-bedroom place, we gotta do it.
Dude, we did get a 3-bedroom house.
Yeah,
We can get a 3-bedroom house.
yeah.
Fancy.
Because,
Yeah.
especially since, Gabe, don't you need, like, medical stuff performed on you every day?
I do, but I pretend that no one knows.
Well, not an option. So living together probably would make sense.
Yeah,
Alright.
Because then we can, like, debrief and, like,
yeah,
figure out next day's plans.
yeah.
Squad lounge.
So it basically just takes you
yeah.
a 5-minute walk to get to your wagon and to get to the garage. You're in, like, a weird spot in the Inner Palisade. It's So with the Inner Palisade, there's a lot of warehousing and, like, really low-income places. So your 3-bedroom house is, like, a house that once you guys move out will be torn down. It's got roaches. In a world where they're starting to introduce things like glass windows and, like, indoor plumbing, or, like, even just, like, a reserve tank on the roof, that sort of stuff, you guys have, like, windowless windows, and like
Yeah.
it's drafty and miserable. You don't live in a very good place, but you're able to all live together for 12 gold a month. Unless you want to go up to the branches, you'd be way further from the office, it'd be more expensive, but it'd be a nicer place.
I feel like we could probably sink some of our, like, team money into making it less dog doo-doo. Because I think you're right, Gabe. Like, we would want to live close. Like,
Yeah.
I was even thinking, like, if there was a place right above it, we could get, like, a rope that just, like, you slide down to get to the station.
Fireman style.
But, like, as long as we're close. Because, like, I don't imagine that we're gonna be home a lot. Like, we're gonna be out on the road driving around, figuring stuff out, like, doing adventures. Why do we want to spend all of our money on a place that we're not gonna be at?
Alright. Is there anything else I'm missing? I know that I interrupted this while we were figuring something else out. I think it was the name of the wagon.
The name.
Yeah.
Name of the wagon.
Around the area where you are, just to give you like an idea of what you would have gotten used to, whether you lived here a while or you just moved in a couple weeks ago, near your apartment there's a Tim Hortons, legally distinct, coffee place, widespread. There's the Black Dragon Inn, which is like an old historic roadhouse, which sounds nice, but really it means they haven't renovated it in 50 years. There's also the public recreational fields that people use for sports and stuff. Near the actual garage, there's a Friedberger, there's a Wagoner's Tavern, and there's actually like a Warriors Guild, like a Fighters Academy that's set up there. They need a lot of floor space, so it's the only place that they could actually afford that kind of space. Most of the town is above you up in the trees, but you're kind of down here in your own spot. It's not really like the hustle and bustle and people going to and from the market. Like up here, it's mostly like big heavy cargo shipments coming through, adventurers trying to find a place to stay for as cheap as possible for the night.
Makes sense.
So how are you feeling with that context about a name like Hound Dog or Scrappers or Stray Cats?
So here's a couple of things that I had. So dogs, obviously we have a dogs. There's all sorts of great dog names. We also have a big winch on top.
Yeah.
And I was thinking maybe something that's sort of automotive, like so 2 for winching.
It took me a second.
You could name yourself after like a jack that you'd use to jack up a car or a wagon, fix underneath it. And then I was thinking, Jack's also a card, so you could call yourself something like the Jack of Hearts. And it's like, because we're gonna help fix your car on the side of the road, but we got big hearts,
One-eyed Jack.
One-eyed Jack.
Hearts, I like that one. I think that's kind of where I'm leaning. Jack of Hearts.
Is that your party name or the wagon name?
I thought that was like the wagon name.
Wagon name? Okay.
And as for the party name, it have to be card themed, I think. But there's something we can think of real quick, I bet.
Poker hands. Full house, straight flush, royal flush.
Let's see. Yeah. Straight flush, full house, 3 of a kind, 2 pair.
Blackjack.
Blackjack. A high card.
Isn't our color black? We could go blackjack.
Yeah. Blackjacks or Because what are the others? Because you have the Rogue Rangers.
Rogue Rangers, Firehouse 4, Cleansing Light, and then technically the Allied Independents.
And their things are like firefighter, wilderness explorer, cleanup crew, Hail Mary, old girl.
I mean, wild cards.
Wild cards, I like that.
is like the obvious one.
I like wild cards. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
I think that's
saying
good.
Jack of Hearts is the name of the wagon. Wild
Hey.
cards is the name of the team.
Okay, and then we each have to pick a code name that is a card.
A code name?
Ooh,
Yeah.
you could all be a suit, and then one of your suits is the dog, which I presume is Heart.
Yeah, the dog is Heart. The dog is 100% Heart.
Okay, so we have Spade, Club, and
I feel like Club has to be Chelsea's character, right?
Yes,
Club.
absolutely.
sure. I
And
can
then-
go Club.
Ooh, you could have Spade for Gabe because you're the one doing the fixing, and then Diamond
Yep.
for Ray because you're the one dazzling and
Dazzlin'
And I'm also the only one that
Yeah,
like
so-
would have a color.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Hmm.
And what are your names?
I don't know.
I also don't know.
I mean, my name is Billy. Like, it's obviously Billy,
Mhm.
but it has to be like Turkish, like Billy. Its name is Black.
Apparently, the rescue heroes have really bad vehicle names. Like transforming fire truck apparently is one of them.
Yeah, no, it was a lost cause trying to think of a wagon name based on the rescue hero, and they're not even funny. Like, it's
Yeah.
legitimately just transforming fire truck or bipedal jet or fast motorcycle or police cruiser. Like,
Or transgender woman, or
I
Yeah.
forgot they had a police cruiser.
although a rescue hero name would have to be, it has to be a pun.
Well, that's
Billy
the thing.
Blazes is taken.
the Jack of Hearts is already a pun for like the name of
It is
the wagon.
Yeah.
You guys are the wild cards. And if you've got code names, are those related to your names, like your real names, or is it just a coincidence?
That's a good question.
Because what is your character name gonna like communicate, right? What kind of vibe does it set out?
It has to be heroic, you know, like a real Chad name.
Yeah. What about Diesel?
Diesel.
That's a real Chad name.
Diesel nuts.
Oh my god, I love it!
Yeah, it has to be Diesel. Like, there's not even a fuel named Diesel. It's so fun. It's
I'm
so
looking
is
up
Diesel
like
the last or first? Or just... Oh no, I think we had an idea of everybody just has a single line
Just-
name.
just a first
Yeah.
name. I'm looking up like different fox names, and I think my favorite one is Todd.
Pod.
Because it's from allegedly English, Scottish origin, meaning fox or clever person.
Oh, what if you do... What if your code names are your last names and your names are your first names? So like Diesel Spade, Todd Diamond.
Yeah,
Diesel Spade.
I love it.
That's very good. I like that.
Oh, and then the next section is like fox pet names, and it's like Oreo, Ranger. No, I need Todd.
I love the
please.
idea that you have a D&D party full of people who are like, yes, I am Atreus, the human fighter. Oh, I'm Elowen, the elf-born ranger. And it's like, I'm Oreo, the domesticus healer.
I don't hear you. Stand still.
Okay, so I'm gonna be Todd Diamond.
How fast do you move in heavy armor?
Not very.
Because it's 8-4, I think, is the default speed.
-3, -3. So it'd
So
be
that's-
5-1.
5-1. Okay.
Okay, Chelsea, the pressure's on. You better pick a name. You've got 2 seconds. Oh my god.
And the dog name is Hearts O'Brien.
Wait, I've got it. Because, Chelsea, you're big, you're mean, you're scary.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the whole joke is that no one mentions your first name, but you canonically have like we'll make one up. It's not just like, oh, the joke is no one knows. But it's either chicken or turkey, so you're Chicken Club or Turkey Club.
I hate that.
Bacon.
So what I did just now was what are the names in the Aragon series?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then I scrolled through and I found Lenora, and then I googled Lenora to make sure that it wasn't a racial slur or something. And there is a Pokemon trainer in Pokemon. One of the Pokemons that was named Lenora. But I don't see anything bad about that name.
Okay.
So I might go with that.
Lenora Club
Yeah.
with 2 B's.
Would it be stretching it instead of Diesel to go with Ace?
Ace Spade.
Ace Spade. Ace O Spade. I think I'll stick with Diesel. Diesel's a fun name.
Like a Diesel. Like it's perfect.
Especially because, like, I don't know, I feel like Diesel Spade has a flow to it.
It does. Diesel Spade, baby.
Ace Spade is very choppy, and it
It
sounds
is.
like you're like really lanky and wear like oversized like suit jackets a
Yeah.
lot.
It could be
Yeah.
Diesel A Spade, like Diesel Ace Spade.
Yeah, I'll put the A in there.
What's the
Diesel.
dog's name again?
His name is Hearts O'Brien. I like the idea of the dog having a human name,
Mhm.
and then naming the guy Diesel.
Mhm.
You know what, though? I think what we could do is my legal name could be Lenora, but then everybody just calls me Chicken, and my last name
Yeah.
is Club,
I like
and
that.
then I'm just like some big beefy person named Chicken.
That's very fun.
It's like a cute nickname that like your very close and personal friends would use.
I will kill you if you call me Chicken without permission.
Exactly.
Like, it's one of those things where everyone who calls you Chicken knows it's deeply ironic.
Yeah.
Like, someone would be like, "You're not gonna run into that burning building? What are you, Chicken?" And you would turn to them and be like, This
Yes.
isn't an appropriate time for these sorts of jokes," and just walk into the building.
Really on fire.
Yeah.
That's very...
Or just like pick them up and lob them through one of the open windows.
Yeah.
You give him a bit of a spin like a football.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. Cool. All right. My name is Lenora Club, nickname Chicken.
Chicken.
I love this party already.
I put your name as Lenora Chicken Club.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I have I have 3 full pages.
Nice.
Nice.
In that case, I'm gonna write this down. So I don't forget, because if I don't do this, I'm going to DM you in 5 minutes being like, "Hey, could you send me all this stuff?" But,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
we have, going from top to bottom along the side, Diesel A Spade.
Yup.
You are a Red Torg
Yeah.
rescue hero?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I have on my sheet.
So then, going down further, we have Lenora Chicken Club.
Chicken. Yes.
Or is it Chicken Lenora Club?
No, it's Lenora quote chicken club.
Alright, and you are a draconian... I want to say shitfucker, but that's probably not a good class category. Battle mage?
Battle mage, yes.
And then we have Todd Diamond.
That's a good fox name too. That's pretty funny.
It is. It is a good fox name.
And you're a Volpe medic?
My self-descriptor I have written down as medical.
Paramedic?
So I think
Doctor?
I think I'm just gonna go with medical, because I mentioned something earlier about like what is your name, and just saying like medical, and then walking away. So I'm gonna go with medical and just make people really confused.
Like, it's one of those things where, like, you describe it like you would inside of an industry, like, oh, I'm medical.
Yeah. And people are like, you know, like what do you, like, how, like, what do you do? Medical.
Medical.
And then
Yeah,
you
I
walk
focus
away.
mainly on medical, you know, a bit of technical, a bit of maintenance.
Yeah.
So, you are the wild cards. Your wagon is the blackjack.
The Jack of
No,
Hearts.
Jack of
Jack of
Hearts.
Hearts.
Yeah.
I thought we were the blackjacks.
I think
No, we
Oh.
decided on the wild
cards.
wild cards, I think.
The wild cards, I think, is what we picked because we're all cards.
Yeah.
Alright, and... So
Oh,
this this had, like, a
Those are-
full... Your cart was a 2-horse wagon, but it had, like, a full ox. So, big ox boy. You guys are heavy haulers, which... I kind of went out of my way to deliberately pick 3 pre-existing teams that were the 3 obvious choices. And I'm really surprised that you guys came up with a 4th obvious choice I didn't think of.
Roadside assistance.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So you've got that. You've got the winch.
Uh-huh.
It's pulled by an ox, 2-horse wagon, 2 sets of benches? Or just 1?
Yep.
2 benches.
2 sets of benches.
Ride bars?
2.
2 ride bars.
So 1 per side.
Uh-huh.
You have the little side chair, which is actually like a side access point for... What's your dog's name again?
Hearts O'Brien. Just, you know, O'Brien for short, but
Okay, I have Hearts O'Brien as a Great Forest climbing dog.
Yep. Oh, and the livery on our wagon has to be something like the Harlequin diamonds in red and black,
Okay.
right? Like that.
I like that.
Yeah, or like that.
Ooh, I like that.
So you
It's,
got
I
the
feel like
winch,
it's a good
that.
compromise. It's eye catching. It feels like something that a society that hasn't quite figured out emergency service vehicles would try to make it eye catching.
Okay. It's like a big fancy, like, checkerboardy kind of... Come
Yeah.
gamble with us. You're saviors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm gearing more towards the upper one. I think Ray's gearing more towards the lower one.
Bottom one.
Yeah. So like
I like the tessellation.
You could
Yeah,
also have
if-
it be like a bar in the middle of your wagon. The rest is just like black.
Oh yeah.
Like that's your primitive high-vis.
Yeah. The bright obnoxious pattern. Yeah, that's fun.
Okay. So is there anything else I'm missing? Ox, 2-horse wagon, ride bar on each side, 2 sets of benches. It's got the grappling
Story
hook.
ladder.
Ladder.
Sorry? Ladder.
Ladder.
Yes.
Ladder.
Yeah.
And a fuck ton of rope.
Oh, man, do we got rope?
Inside, you have like general tools for cooking, doctoring, gadgeteering.
Yep.
So is there anything else I should put in my notes so I have the right impression going in for tomorrow? Well, not tomorrow, next week.
Next week.
Or the week after. I don't know. Something might happen. You never know.
Depends how it goes.
Yeah.
I think that's everything I have. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
good. Oh, we're living in Inner Palisade,
Yes.
3-bedroom house, 12 gold per month, drafty and miserable is what I have written down.
Alright, so for next time, one thing I'll tell you about your place is it's the kind of place where you're renting, so you're not allowed to alter the house, but at this point, if you were to alter the house, it would be calling your landlord's bluff, because that would require your landlord to show up and fix anything. Like,
Yeah.
you mail your money or drop it off in a slot and then go home. If you cut a hole in the floor and let a rope down, would he ever find out? Who's to say?
Yeah.
It's
the
not
sort
like
of
he's
thing-
gonna come into the house. Yeah.
It's the sort of thing where you could say, "Hey, look, your shitty floor gave out under me."
So I worked with it. I put a rope
Like,
down there so
yeah.
I don't fall to my death.
Yeah.
Like
I
there
saved you
was
money.
already a hole in the floor, and the landlord was like, oh, "You could put a rope. You're fine."
Exactly. Exactly. So you can at least catch yourself when you fall down.
There you
Yeah.
go. So next time we'll catch up and do a little bit of Allied Independent. So we are here at twitch.tv/Bloodwine TTRPG. Still need to work something out. So I believe this episode is still being uploaded to youtube.com/Mr. Croden. That's something I think we'd agreed on. I'll double check. If not, I'll upload the VOD to my own channel. I'll throw a banner on there real quick. And the rules for this game are at bloodwine.fandom.com. Normally I would go, is there anything coming up? And then Ken would chime in. But
Yeah.
are you guys doing anything that isn't this? That you want to talk about on the internet?
You got work tomorrow.
Yeah, I got work tomorrow too.
I also have work tomorrow.
Okay, so yeah, there's nothing to plug. We just have jobs. But a big thanks to Ken, of course, at Croden_live here on Twitch, because he was with us for 100 episodes, and this is our first going solo. He's been helping us by being a mod in chat. Hopeful little dude. And we wouldn't have been able to do this without him. So check out his stuff. We are going to be doing stuff on Saturday. I don't know what. Could be any number of games. Could be Oblivion. Could be something else. But it should be a good time. So I'll see you guys in a while. Bye.
Bye.